Here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project, where we're back again for another podcast, and we're loving to have you here joining with us on one of the lull periods of sports. I'm Bears fan alongside the MaskedAura, Nickman, and Magnum Trash. Um, eh,
I am traumatized. I don't like water. Rain. I see one drop of rain. I'm gonna emotionally shut down for like
he's like
ever.
he's the Wicked Witch of the West. He burns
No,
when
I
water
don't just
touches him.
burn at the stake. I'm just tired of being wet.
No, that's fair.
Rain is a terrifying consequence. Who invented the rain? Nobody. No, rain is just miserable. Who wants to be around rain all the time?
Have you ever seen the rain?
Yeah,
You
I
live in.
was
I
I
mean,
was
you
working
live in
student.
British Columbia. I feel like, isn't
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
all you?
I know, but maybe I didn't want it to fucking rain every single day of the week. I was
It's your fault.
miserable.
It's your fault for living in the Pacific Northwest.
Listen, man. You live where British is in the name. Of course, it rains.
Oh, that's fair. That's
The
fair.
Br- the British are raining on his
Seriously,
parade.
it was raining all week long. I never knew what it was not like. I right now, I feel wet.
Dude, we had.
Even though
Dude,
I've been indoors all day.
Dude,
No,
it was snowing not even a week ago for me. Dude,
you know, honestly, I think some of the rain should get passed down south. You know, I'm just saying. Some
I would
people
love
could
to
use
give you the
rain.
rain. You can take it. I don't want it.
Unfortunately, Nick's in prime summer season, but it's still March.
Yeah.
Well, it's not good for him either. It's like it's 100 degrees out there. It's not normal to
True.
be like that in March.
Yeah. Even for Vegas standards, it is not supposed to be like this, but unfortunately, it is. So, I guess we're fucked. So, that's just lovely.
Global warming doesn't exist. Blame Roger Goodell. Anywho, tonight we're gonna be talking about baseball, just a relative grab bag of smorgasbord stuff that we're gonna be going over. But Luke had a welcome mat that he wanted to talk about.
So we had a really, we hear, especially when we're in the modern day and age of sports, we're getting more into the sheer importance of one's mental health throughout just the entirety of just life in general, and how it's important to really recognize how sometimes, our favorite sports leagues, it really feels like that they just don't do enough. And there's a really, really well done article by AJ Green that describes how his role was as not only as a teammate but as a mentor and a father figure towards Rondell Moore, and how, when we step back and look at it all, how you really wish there was more mental health resources in the NFL. Like, we hear this, like, we were familiar with the story of Jamarcus Russell, and we're hearing about how Andrew Luck retired early. Injuries bring a lot of athletes to just such a dark place in life. Even though from the outsider's perspective, it's like, oh, hey, you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to just not play for a season. Must be nice, huh? It's really not like that for most guys. Most guys, they want to get out there. They want to play. And when they're not playing, they go to the dark places in life. Where,
Not to mention too, money in the NFL doesn't last forever. Like, there's a reason why they always say whenever you get in the NFL, the first thing you should do is finish your college degree.
Not only that, but if you look in all 4 major U.S. sports, you are more likely to go into debt playing football. Football had the highest debt ceiling. Most guys don't know what to do when you get into debt, right? I'm sorry, when you get a copious amount of money, you get kids more money that they'll know what to do, how to spend. They've never seen that amount of money before, and with all of the resources that we're given as a society, what happens when you get large copious amounts of money? You don't really. It runs out. What I'm trying to say, it runs out fast, right? And this, unfortunately, especially when it's injuries, right? The average career for the average NFL player is 5 years. That is 5 years, and especially you're trying to put things into your favor as much as you can. And what tends to be the best? Oh shit! I just jumped that. What tends to be the best thing out there? Availability. And when you're not available, like in the case of one Rondell Moore, he was brought to a very dark place in his life, and the dark place he was in was just so happened to be like the center of being in the most depressive state he's been in, and being at the dark place, especially like the second go around. Like, I couldn't imagine being out for a season, but being out for 2 just seems so unfathomable. Like,
it's insanely unfair.
It is, right? Like, one of my favorite parts about the article was with AJ Green describing when, what happens, you're injured, how you kill your crush your first rehab. And then the second time, it's, how it really doesn't feel fair at all, how, you see players who don't put a whole lot of effort into their workouts where you do everything right, and then all of a sudden, your entire season gets taken away, even though you did everything right you could do. You followed the trainer's instructions. You followed everything to the T. You were aggressive. You get excited as your strength slowly comes back, and then you're ready to go. You don't even play a regular season game. You get injured, same injury, same spot, and the first preseason game, and that is where my heart just shattered for Rondell Moore. It was really, really hard. It's really harsh on anybody to where, one moment you're in the game and then the next moment you're not, and then now you're trying to figure out life after football. And one of my favorite things that AJ Green tried to do was he tried to talk about how he tried to steer the conversation away from football. How it's about how's life, how is this? And like the last thing that he mentioned to him was the last conversation I had about how excited he was to go to Turks and Caicos with his family on a vacation. Like how excited he was for that. And it was coming up in like a few weeks, and that was one of the sweet things that I really liked about him as a teammate. And you hear the end of it, your heart breaks when unfortunately he passes away. And there's stories that you tend to not hear about players and injuries. My first year of Bible college, I got to know a story about my the RA of my area, and he was very good at basketball, and then he got injured his first year, out for the season. I think it's something with his ankle where he was out for the season, and he was just devastated. He was living on campus. He was talking about how he luckily for him, he was able to get through the injuries. He described how he was able to, develop a lot closer connection with God and everything. And he did the same thing too, where he crushed the rehab process. And year 2, season-ending injury at training camp. A near year of eligibility gone. Then same thing with year 3. Same thing again. It's when guys are rehabbing, injuries that, impact you the way that they do. They take a lot out of you, not only physically but just mentally. Simple things like getting out of bed is hard. Just doing the simple things, it just becomes a lot harder. Thankfully, when I came around, it was his senior year, and he was able to play his entire senior year, which was something really exciting. But just describing how just the injury process, how it just impacts a lot of people the way that they do. And it's hear the story of Rondell Moore, and it's like, oh my god, it breaks your heart. And for any athlete that's going through that, you really wish there's more resources allocated to mental health and everything.
I think the biggest detail, really the most harrowing detail in terms of what AJ Green said that really will fit to anyone that reads this article. The part where he says the second time, Rondale got injured, like after working on all that rehab and all that stuff to get back out there, immediately getting hurt. He says that what worried him is how he didn't even seem upset about it. He just felt, he was just kind of nonchalant, if that makes sense. Like he was there, but he wasn't there, which is what was said by AJ Green. And it really, I can only imagine what was going through Rondale's head after that, but I can only imagine it was probably a lot of numbness, like, because you do all this to get back to where you were, with the hope that you can make something work out of this, only for it to immediately go wrong like that. Just it really kills any emotion you may have had for it, and it's like it just makes you feel dead inside.
What I saw from it was when when he rejected being the receivers coach at Oregon State because he wanted to keep this dream alive of being a wide receiver. He was still 25. He didn't think that he didn't want his career to end like so quickly. He was so focused on making it, and I can definitely see, like, he was very hard on himself. He thought that something was wrong with him, and that was something about that. I relate a lot to that, with how hard on myself I am. Thinking like what could I be possibly doing wrong, and sometimes it's just, you just have to look back and just think like look at the bigger picture with everyone around me, with my friends and family.
Yeah. At the end of the day, whether you do or don't believe in God, at the end of the day, when your body does something it shouldn't do, that's not something that could ever be your fault. And my biggest thing that I took away from this is this couple things. The one thing that I will say, I feel like AJ Green puts a really good point. In order to prevent something like this in the future, the NFL needs to require some sort of mental therapy for people who are going through stuff like this. Because saying that they definitely have the resources to do it, but they need more, because stuff like this could have been prevented if stuff like that were to change. Not saying that it's the NFL's fault, because at the end of the day, the NFL is doing what they can do already. And another thing that I really took place is that at the very end, when AJ Green was basically saying all the stuff that he never got to do. He never got to be a dad or a husband, and it's rough. And a part of me really relates to, like, feeling the hopelessness throughout this. And the worst part is, this kind of stuff is just... Mental health is such a fickle thing, because we still... Obviously, there has to come a mental toughness, but some people just don't have... Some people just need help. It's like I always view therapy as like getting a personal trainer for working out. Are you really that less of a person if you get a personal trainer to help you work out? Someone who knows what your needs are and what you want in your goals are? No. It's just... It's rough, man. As usual, always get help. It's never too late to get help. It sucks. But at the end of the day, stuff like that it really sucks. But...
It does. And if you haven't had the chance to read it, please do. It's something
from
that...
the Players Tribune.
Player Tribune, AJ Green. We have the article linked in the Discord channel for the Psychos Project. And it is worth a read. It's... You know... This is only like one of the stories we hear. One of the things that I would love to start hearing is more of... I want to see more athletes come out with their stories about injuries and how they recover, how their recovery process is. And I want to hear more. I want to hear more because I want to understand what goes through a guy's mind the entire way through. You know, what do we as fans need to do better? You know, these are our players after all. You know, these are our players who cheer for them. They provide us entertainment with everything, and yeah, I would love to hear more stories about injuries and how.
I would love to hear more stories. I know. Just recently, I know Dante Moore opened up about the mental health struggles that he's been going through, because, you know, like, going through a lot, and, you know, all the pressure of being, you know, a high-profile college quarterback. And I know, I know he mentioned, like, how, you know, he's doing all this, like, you know, all this while, you know, dealing with that pressure. I know his mother was diagnosed with cancer as well, so, you know, having all that go on such a limited amount of time, it's just, you know, it's a lot for any athlete to handle, let alone someone still in college, and it's rough, and it's just something where it's like, you know, a lot of the times when it comes to athletes, and, well, not just athletes, but people in general, when it comes to mental health, like, stuff builds up over time. It builds up. It all builds up over time, and something that might not have been, like, as serious of an issue earlier on really feels like a much bigger issue when, you know, all this stuff builds up, and it's rough. It's really rough, and, you know, it's, getting help is only one part of the process, and actually improving upon it is, you know, much different story. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, wanting to do what you can, doing what you can to improve upon it, and, you know, like, just getting help and seeing how life goes and all that is, like, one of the best things you can do. And I'm hopeful that more people, more athletes, you know, come out about it and say, like, what's going on, what they're dealing with, because I think it would help a lot of people if they open up about it and share to the world like, hey, this is our struggles, and I hope I can help someone by talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh, like the thing about like how like these college athletes are scared to speak up about it is because if in their mind it's like if you talk about these scouts will see that as like a concern, and
Yeah.
that I relate a lot to that because when I'm in job interviews I gotta say like I'm autistic, but like I'm not. Please don't see that as like a detriment, like I don't like having mental health issues, like be like having people think of your mental health issues as your like as like a detriment is a very real thing, and it's scary. It's scary to think that you can lose opportunities like that if you don't speak up about it, if you don't.
Yeah. It's such a double-edged sword because
Mhm.
either you talk about it and you'll get weird looks, or you don't talk about it and nothing changes. It's just rough. There needs to be some sort of change in our world about that. But we've been on this for a bit. I don't want everything to be sad and gloomy all the time, but sometimes you just gotta get that stuff out.
Yeah, especially when I have
Regardless,
about an hour's worth of Mariners farm to go over.
ugh.
Woo!
But yeah, always seek help. Never give up. All that stuff. Anywho, let's talk about sports. I know we're actually getting into that. We don't really have much. March Madness has been going on. There's been a good bit of
Don't
chaos.
forget to get your vasectomy, kids.
Duke almost ate shit against Siena, which is very funny.
And y'all shook though.
Yeah, and then UNC decide to finish the job later.
Yep.
Wisconsin lost pretty brutal fashion.
Yeah, High Point University, their first tournament win in their school's history.
First 2-pointer of the season.
First 2-pointer of the season. Listen, man, my favorite college basketball archetype is just the Josh Goldies. Just all they do is just shoot threes. Like they don't like.
Yeah.
Iowa Iowa won
Did Washington
today
win?
with a score of 6-7. No, Washington isn't in the tournament.
Oh, I thought Washington made it.
You mean Wisconsin?
Nah.
I thought
Washington didn't get in.
I swore.
Maybe in the women's side.
I don't know. I haven't seen the. I don't remember all the women's teams. I don't.
That's fine. I don't pay much attention. I just look at it's March Madness, but yet they finish it in April.
Yeah, Purdue handled.
Yeah, Washington's women's team is in the tourney. Just to let you know.
Purdue handled the Queens very handily with a they dropped 104 on them. So.
Miami of Ohio officially finished their season with 2 losses.
Man, well, congratulations! You're now in the Boise State like shadow realm. Oh, you did too well as a mid major, but and now we will never take you seriously again after being one and done. You'll never take.
Congratulations to an undefeated season, but it's just
almost undefeated. Almost.
I mean, I will say this though: if we're talking mid majors, shout out to the A10. They are just.
Shout out to St. Louis.
Yeah, we mentioned VCU, but St. Louis just they put. I mean, there's Belt the Ash, and then there's what St. Louis did to Georgia. That was.
Yeah. They lost to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Soy Jacks.
Yeah. What's the SEC? What's the SEC's record so far in the March Madness? I need to check actually.
Is Texas in the SEC for basketball?
Yes.
Okay. The SEC is Vanderbilt beat McNeese.
McNeese, yeah.
Arkansas,
Amir Orakan is no more.
yeah, Arkansas beat Hawaii. A&M beat St. Mary's. Texas beat BYU. Georgia lost.
Okay, so it's just Georgia. It's all
Iron-
Georgia. Then. It's all
Yeah, yeah, because Alabama won too. Teehee. And Tennessee.
Hot dog.
But yeah, all that to say is this: don't give those Georgia players those car keys, because I know they're pissed.
I hate that my AT like the new AT team Loyola Chicago is completely like fallen off at this point. I fucking after they joined the A10, it's
Yeah.
their first year here. It's their
Yeah, like on the A10 though, St. Louis versus Michigan, that is going to be one hell of a game. I hope so.
I think St. Louis might win that. I think they have a chance.
I like
They're a very
like,
good matchup. Like they are a very good matchup against Michigan.
if like I feel like their game against Howard, like I don't think Howard did their hardest. I feel like that score doesn't really do it justice. I think that's
Yeah.
like they were like on their ass until like at halftime until halftime. Like they were on their
Yeah.
They put up a very good fight. I mean, I will say though, my biggest not my biggest takeaway from the tournament, but something that is worth saying. I'm gonna be very pissed off when they expand the tournament. I'm gonna be very pissed off because this has been so good, and they're gonna. We do not need more of these like fucking mid at best SEC or mid at best Big Ten teams in the tournament. We don't need more of them. We really don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Iowa needs to get their daily spot where they win
I'm
the
not
first
talking
round.
about Iowa. I'm talking Indiana. Keep them out of here.
Wait, right.
Indiana is not in the fucking.
Yeah, but apparently they were like one of the first 4 out, and people already said like, yeah, if they expand the tournament, guess who's gonna be in?
Ugh. I mean, what do you want? Like the first? Do you want the first 100? Do you want to have the round of 128? No.
Like it gets to a point, man. Like it gets to a.
But the fact that we were having legit conversations about whether or not Auburn was going to be in the tournament is both hilarious and kind of infuriating.
All I will say is, fuck you, Idaho. I thought you were gonna upset Houston, but instead you pulled up the least amount of points tied with fucking Troy.
I just have a quick question though. What does St. Mary's even do? You know?
I mean, what does the Delaware State Hornets even do?
I feel like St. Mary's only exists to be a first round exit in March Madness every year, you know? I feel like
Yeah.
Speaking of that conference though,
once Gonzaga leaves, they're fucked.
Once Gonzaga leaves, that conference is fucked, but I will say I feel very bad for Santa Clara. They were so close.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still more that could happen, but in all honesty, we're probably gonna see Furman lose to UConn and Kansas beat Baptist. But hey, at least Miami versus Missouri might be interesting.
Also, rip Northern
don't count them out, okay? Don't do that. This is March Madness here. Anything can happen. Anything.
Yeah.
So shout out Utah State for making kind of humiliating Villanova and making Maryland fans happy.
They did it for Kirk, man. They did it for Kirk.
That's not that's a different.
I know it's wrong. I know it's the wrong university, but it's the closest I got. But yeah, that's March Madness. basketball, not too much really going on. Everything's kind of.
I mean, yeah,
Kind of remains-
it's almost time for the play. It's almost time for the playoffs. Speaking of which, though, the Atlanta Hawks, they're on a surge right now. They are on a surge, an 11-game winning streak, and they're in the playoffs proper. They're not in the play-in. They're not.
What? How come they're cheating on us? They cheated on us with the play-in, and now they're going. Now they think they're better than the play-in. This is fucked up.
Yeah, the Hawks are on an 11-game winning streak, and I have to say this now because it's about to end tonight.
Oh yeah.
What? Oh god, 114 to 83.
I just looked at the score and it's like, well, we better say this real quick because it's about to end.
Yeah. All I will say is this. Yeah, man, Luka might win MVP after all. That.
Yeah. After K went out with a collapsed lung, I feel like it's either Luka or Shea. And I do believe that's gonna win it. I think.
Yeah. Voter fatigue does not help in the. Is very rough in the NBA, so it'll be Luka. I will say this: 100 points in 2 games, 100 points in a combined 2 games is absolutely insane. Also, I think LeBron got a triple-double last night. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's crazy in the Western Conference, like how good the Thunder, Spurs, and Lakers are just playing right now.
Lakers just got a 60-point game, like the first time since Kobe's last game. So like he's been on a tear. Lucas.
Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, you're probably gonna have the Suns and Trailblazers not make it because the Warriors just lock in during the playoffs and fuck.
No, do you really listen, man? I'm sorry. Do you really listen, man? Do you really want B pods as your second option?
Yes.
No.
Obviously, who wouldn't? I'm just saying, man. The Warriors do this shit every year.
Listen,
it's over.
He can be a second option when he reaches 30 points in a game.
Yeah, not much else to really say other than, man, when the Pacers get Halliburton back next year, the East might have a chance to be good.
If they somehow land, like, the first overall pick, and they get, like, Cam Boozer and fucking Tyrese Halliburton in the same
Also, it is very...
Halliburton and Mathis, Jesus.
Also, it is just worth saying, only because I saw this today, but yeah, apparently Jimmy Haslam is doing his best to ruin the Bucks right now. He's doing his best to ruin them.
What is he? What's going on? Like, what's going?
Oh no, I gotta find it. But like, apparently, yeah, because we are going to be entering the millionth cycle of the Giannis trade rumors. But apparently, Jimmy Haslam himself was taking the calls on trades for
bored,
Giannis.
Man. I'm so bored of this, man. I'm sorry, man. Giannis' whole like making this a soap opera is just so stupid. I hate it.
Like, it's the Max Crosby saga, but on steroids, and it is crazy though. I only brought it up because that is genuinely wild. That apparently Haslam was just taking the trade calls now. Like, what are we doing?
Why is Haslam? And then here's the thing: I don't want to trust anything about Giannis trade because I feel like it's fucking prediction market manipulation. Again, fucking happened the first time.
Dude, like the moment the trade deadline is over, and he kept on crying about loyalty. He gets sponsored by Kalshi. What?
Look, guys. Here's what's gonna happen. Antetokounmpo is gonna get traded. Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's gonna get traded to the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, Thanasis is gonna get traded to the Spurs during the offseason. They're playing the long game.
Listen, man, Listen, man. Like, I just do not care what Giannis does anymore. Like this whole shit is just it's tiring, man. Like, it's boring.
I'm on the same boat with you, Magnum. Like, this is cause like I don't want to call it bullshit, but like money talks, bullshit walks, and especially with this Kelshi Polymar. Like ever since those two has been a thing, I feel like my sports ball has gotten corrupted because of this shit.
Like my
all you need.
like I've been on high alert, you know. I've been on high alert for like bullshit at this point, you know. I'm on high.
There is
it's why
one
I
big
stopped
thing that we're
buying
gonna say for
rumors.
baseball about the whole like Kalshi shit. We're saving
yeah.
that
Yeah, we have to
baseball
save
thing
that,
for
but yeah.
when we're talking about baseball. But yeah, other than that, hockey is hockey. It's not the playoffs
The
yet.
Pacific Division is a dumpster fire. Nobody wants the last wildcard spot. Hell, no one probably even wants the fucking third spot in the Pacific.
There's a 90% chance one of these teams is going to the Western Conference Finals. Let that sink in.
Hey yo, Sink, get your ass in. Oh.
What does it want now? What does it want?
No, look, man, I'm gonna say this: when the Blackhawks go on an insane like winning streak and they somehow find themselves in the playoffs, it's gonna be the funniest thing ever.
What's crazy right now? What's crazy is that like if the Flyers would be tied for the division lead if they were in the Pacific.
Instead, the fucking Ducks. The Ducks are somehow leading.
The Ducks are another one of those young, fun teams. I don't have any shame.
They have a goal differential of -11,
yes,
and they're winning this fucking
fun.
Yes,
They're
but
fun.
They are at least fun. But yeah, the Pacific is it is a hilarious division. Like genuinely comedy gold, if you want to call it that.
Dude, the fact that the Golden Knights, the goalie let in 3 goals on the first 3 shots.
Yeah, that was that was quite something. All I will say is, you know, I feel I'm less frustrated about the. Like, I'm thankful for the Pacific Division because it's made me less frustrated and more just amused by how, listen, we have been like playing horrible hockey, and yet we're in a playoff spot because it doesn't matter. The Pacific Division is just that fucking garbage. Like it is so bad. Like yesterday, just for perspective, like yesterday the Pacific Division played how many games did they play? Because they were playing a lot of games yesterday. They played 6 games yesterday. They lost all 6 of them. Like they lost all 6 games yesterday, and they got outscored. They got outscored like, oh my god, like 26 to like 6. Like they got outscored in those 6 games by like 20 goals.
Look, all I'm hearing is we're gonna get Oilers Lightning again for the finals because God hates hockey.
I don't know if the Oilers might even make the playoffs. They're without Leon Draisaitl for the rest of the regular season. That's huge.
Again, this is the Oilers. Someone has to be the sacrificial Canada's embarrassment team, and it's in the playoffs, I should say. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the Canadians are embarrassing enough.
But to be fair, actually no, it can't be Tampa Bay because they have Corey Perry on their team. They have to lose in the finals.
Oh, right, yeah. But still, that means Tampa's gonna get there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it means it means no Canadian teams are going to get in because obviously someone would have to beat Tampa.
Yeah. Well, that's hockey. Well, one brief thing I want to we have like 2 things that we can talk about the NFL. The one thing I want to bring up, guys. So, guys, do you want to threw the Browns out of the casino for the Deshaun Watson shit? They're trying to get right back in for some reason. They want back in the casino because they just proposed a rule that is trying to allow NFL teams to trade pick from 5 years out. Let it go. Stop. We called the hotline. We're begging you.
You know, I think back to that video that Tree did on that horrible owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's really funny that Cleveland might have to make another might make another league have to make a rule because they are that incompetent when it comes to running their sports team.
Like, I just... Come on, man. Let's be real for a moment here. Let's not be funny. Who would actually be using this other than bag organizations trying to get players that will help them in like the short term?
My guess, you're trying to
How this
spice
happens?
up the trade deadline a little bit. And I mean, the NHL, you could trade 5 picks in the future. Like, there was a player that was traded for a fucking second-round pick in 2029. Whoa!
Right, but like, I don't want to see a 2030 first round pick. I don't want to see Cleveland trade a 2030 first round pick for fucking someone like who's like kind of washed. I don't want to see them trade like a 2030 for someone like fucking Cordero Flott.
I was gonna say CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Oh, maybe. Like, we gotta ban them from the casino again. We shouldn't have let them back in. And last real kind of thing to talk about with the NFL, I guess I would just kind of say, draft's coming up real soon. You're gonna see a lot of things going to motion in terms of mock drafts. So keep in mind, guys, your mock draft is not correct. The mock we make is we're the football experts.
To be frank, I have no idea what I have no idea what's what's going on for the draft this year. I don't.
Ty Simpson is going first overall to the New York Jets.
I refuse. I refuse that.
I think we all know at least Ty Simpson is.
I refuse that on principle.
Top one.
Again, I kind of just said this the other day. Carson Beck getting drafted in the late first round is still something I think could happen. I'm still thinking it's probably going to be a day two.
Carson Beck.
I think
that ship
has sailed. I'm sorry. I'm
gonna be honest. This quarter, outside of what's gonna happen with the Raiders at 1, the quarterback market for this draft class is kind of cooked.
Same with the running backs, dude.
Which is why a lot of the teams are just getting other quarterbacks from free agency. That's
great
why
time to be Malik Willis. Great time to be him.
Yeah, you saw that there's a reason why the Dolphins picked up Malik Willis and the Vikings picked up Kyler Murray. You know, it's better than.
Hey, we're forgetting Geno Smith to the Jets. Let's not forget Geno Smith to the Jets.
Yeah. We're still forgetting that Aaron Rodgers is still on the market.
Aaron Rodgers.
What are you saying, man? The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be drafting Carson Beck first overall.
Oh yeah. Justin Fields went to the Chiefs. There's that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, Mahomes could. I mean, there is a chance Mahomes could be out for the start of the season.
Oh yeah, very much likely. He tore his ACL.
Right, yeah, but ACL recoveries are a lot easier than they were back in the day. I mean, obviously, things can happen.
Either way, I don't think you should just rush him out there.
To be honest, I think in terms of Fields with the Chiefs, it's fine for what it is. He once Mahomes is up and going, he's just gonna be a backup for them and do whatever Bieniemy or Reed.
I mean, I was mainly just saying that as a joke because once Mahomes is healthy, he'll be a backup. But I just think it's funny. I just think it's
again, and the funniest thing, people were like, "Oh, they're gonna use Justin Fields as Taysom Hill," and it's like, no, the fuck they're not. When the hell does Andy Reid use a Taysom Hill in his offense?
To be honest, the only reason to become a tight end is because someone's got to replace Kelsey.
Oh, but that's Noah Gray's job, and he's supposed to be washed or something. I don't know. All this to say, the draft's coming up in a month. be weary. Well, it's now time for baseball and for us to talk about the teams going into this season. I feel like the best way to talk about it is teams that we like the most for later, and we just talk about the teams that we don't give a shit first. The team that we ultimately don't give a shit the most about, I'm gonna say, is the Minnesota Twins, and we'll just go from the American League there. Like, who fucking cares?
He's just released a bunch of players that would probably be depth pieces elsewhere. Not even putting them in their AAA system. I think the Tees are going to be very, very bad this year.
What do you mean? They have Josh Bell.
No, the Tees I think are going to be worse going into this year. Like, it's not even going to be close. The Tees are going to be...
The Rockies exist.
The Rockies exist, but the Twins have a very real shot of being worse than them. Like,
True,
it's going to be
true.
bad.
Like,
It's going to be really
like,
bad.
120 games bad. Like, that's how bad it is.
I could see it. I mean, it's
I
just like outside of Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton, who's also I will say, if you want to do a good impersonation of how your team's going to be, he did a very good impersonation of the World Baseball Classic. Let's just say that. Yeah, outside of those two, it's bleak.
What do you mean? They've got Josh Bell. He's going to fix everything. Don't you get it?
It's
bleak.
bleak.
To be fair, Josh Bell is a pretty decent first baseman, all things considered. But like, it's bad.
Fodder, man. The Tees have nothing. They're going to be intentionally bad for at least a good year. I expect this team to trim a lot of payroll going into the season and going into next year. It's going to be it's going to be a lot harder for them to build a team, purely because, especially now with the draft lottery, even if you are bad, you're gonna, even if you can't be bad for consecutive years, because you're bad for consecutive years, you pick outside the top 8, and you could be missing out on some generational prospects, and that's kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, moving on kind of down the line, the Cleveland Guardians, now featuring less gambling scandals. That being said, unfortunately, the less gambling scandals makes them worse. I don't know. Cade Smith seems pretty good. He had a good year last year. Jose Ramirez is still, his nickname's still SpongeBob, so that's pretty pog. Bo Naylor.
I mean, besides, really nothing else has changed besides the fact that Clase's gone, which is very scary though. That's not a good thing. But Cade Smith is a very reliable setup man, and I think he should handle the closing spot well. But Travis Bazzana, he should make an impact at some point this year. So like, I'm not sure if they're gonna repeat as division champions, but I think they're still gonna be the best. They're still gonna be one of the best in the AL at this point.
The only thing is, I'm a little bit iffy about it. It's the central spending has been very. They're playing the small market town victims when it's skill issue, invest in your players. And I think Cleveland's the one team that hasn't done the whole investing spiel.
Well, it's worked out for them so far.
It has. You know? It has, because everybody else in the division has done the same thing, right? Like, I felt last year's was a bit of a miracle. That the incredible run that they had at the end of the season. I don't know if that's going to be repeatable for this year.
I will want to say real quick, because we'll be getting to them later. the White Sox did at least seem to try this free agency.
White
They
Sox
tried.
are going to be better. White Sox are going to be better. They're not going to
But
be...
we'll get to that in a moment.
We'll get to.
Yeah, we'll get to them, but they're not going to be abysmally bad.
Yeah, I do want to say about Cleveland, this team feels like they will be ugly to watch at a lot of times, and yet they'll find a way to win 88 games. Like, that is what Cleveland is. That's what the Guardians are. They just find a way.
Yeah. Well, kind of after the Guardians, let's get into the Tigers. I mean, they still have Tariq Skubal, which is a pitcher that people did not think they would have last year going into this year, and they brought back Verlander, which is nice.
Well, it's more of a it's more of like a
know about
it's more of a
Twins,
retired
man.
Yeah,
Sorry about
retirement.
the Tigers. I feel like this is the last year you're going to see Turk Skubal before he makes a shitload of money going to New York or Detroit. Sorry, New York or LA.
I don't look first. I think LA's just. I think they're just too loaded at that point. And also, listen, man. He set a record high in arbitration. So, I feel like they are willing to.
I think they're willing to. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the issue. Like, I think they're willing to, and the only reason I say so is if you're not willing to pay Skubal the money that he wants, why the hell are you paying Framber Valdez that much?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, too, I will say this: I don't like Detroit, not because of anything inherent. I just think starting a guy named Spencer Torkelson is an inherent crime against humanity, and I think having him play 162 games a year is personal punishment on humanity.
Well, get ready for
So
Kevin McGonigal. Well, get ready for.
Watch out! Here comes Jake Rogers.
Get ready
know.
for. You still.
just-
Dylan Dingler is still their catcher. Dylan.
Speaking of Guardians, I just checked the spring training score.
Just about to bring that up.
Mariners, keep in mind, Mariners, Julio isn't playing. I don't think Cal is playing.
Listen, man. These scores, man. They're normal in spring training. I never really
But
pay
they are
attention.
funny. They're funny. Up next, the Kansas City Royals. You know, Bobby Witt Jr. and Vinny Pasquarino are very good.
That's one team.
Look, man, all I know is that he's Italian and I can't say his name. I also will say this. I think getting a guy like Sterling Monte is a pretty good pickup. I want to say this is the best team going into this year. I mean, at least in this conference. But we say that every year about the Royals, and they just continue to be dog shit.
They have Bobby Witt Jr. and Bobby Witt Jr. followed by Bobby Witt Jr. Man, Bobby Witt
And
Jr. is just
Sepulveda.
so good.
They have a very good starting rotation. It's more just like last year. It just felt like their hitting was just abysmal. And
Fuck,
you know,
Jonathan India still on this team?
I mean, after making the
Fuck.
playoffs in 2024, it just felt like they just could not get out of their own way. How bad their hitting was, and that is why you ended up missing the playoffs in frustrating fashion last year.
Because the weird thing about the Royals is, I find like they should be a team that should start to dominate the Central because that's how good Bobby Witt Jr. is. They got pretty reasonable pitching, but just the hitting core can't just be Bobby Witt Jr. carries a bunch of guys.
Again, Vinny Pasquantino is a very good like first baseman. Salvador Perez, while not as he was, is still very, very good very good power wise for a catcher. And I hope for a breakout year for Jack Caglione. I do hope for that. I do.
Yeah.
And also, the
It's
son
just-
Isaac
it's hard.
Collins.
Yeah, fuck. I forgot Jonathan India was on this team. Fuck. Yeah, again, the thing with the Royals, it just do something different this year. Please, at least be unabashedly good or unabashedly bad, because playing 70, 80 win seasons aren't fun.
That's been the Royals' MO for a while now. So I don't really know why you're surprised by this.
Yeah, I'm just saying they need to stop. It's like telling someone to stop doing bad things. Like stop.
Mhm.
Hey, we're good. But yeah, White Sox. Uh, I really like what they did. I really like what they did in free agency, and I do
Mhm.
think they'll be better. This team is still owned by fat ass McGee.
Like
And
like in theory, like I do like the pickups they did. You know, they signed the biggest foreign bet with the Takamura economy this year, so that's a very good thing. Uh, they 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 bolstered up the bullpen with Sir Anthony Dominguez, and it's so that's great. And they traded for Luis Angel Acuna. With the Luis Robert trade to the Mets. So and signing Austin Hayes and with a bunch of top prospects like Colson Montgomery, Miguel Vargas, and Chase Majoff. I do
Yeah.
like I do like the core that this White Sox team is heading with, and in my hot takes thing, I did say that they could possibly be over they could possibly be over like 500 this year because I do believe in this hitting core reliably. The biggest mystery box though this year is the starting rotation. That's the issue here. That's
because I mean Dominguez is good, but like Shane Smith.
Shane Smith is currently their ace of the staff.
Oh, gotcha.
I feel like for me,
Uh,
the White Sox, it
They have Anthony.
feels. I
They
want to
have
say they're
Anthony K.
close, but I think
huh.
they're gonna be another. They're gonna be. I think the
Anthony
my
K is in their starting rotation.
my my
Oh,
theoretical goal for the White Sox this year. I think try to win 75 games. I think that's gonna be my goal for the White Sox this year. They're there, but they're not there yet. I want to believe, but like I'm gonna need like just like a little bit more, you know?
Yeah,
Like I
they're
I
a
feel
real
like
prove it
they need
team.
one more year in my opinion, but I like what they're building. Like I think they have a really good hitting core. It does suck that Kyle Teal's going to be out for like at least a month. That does suck.
ooh.
They have built a nice hitting core. Still questions about the pitching core. I know Shane Smith's pretty good. I'm sure Hagen Smith is probably going to be up in the majors at some point this year. But I mean, the White Sox are building good stuff. It's just they definitely like they probably just need one more year. But I mean, I saw it near the end of I saw it last season where even though the White Sox were still a extremely bad baseball team, they did show improvement. Like the improvement was there. Like it was clear that they are heading in the they are heading in the right direction. It's just it's going to take more time. And this season, you hope for continued improvement, and hopefully for their sake, they keep heading in the right direction.
Yeah. I was all I'm gonna say is this: I don't think they'll be I don't think they'll be the worst team in the Central, but that's only because the Twins exist. Let's go to let's go to the East now. Um, guys, you could not pay me to give a shit about whatever the fuck the Orioles are doing, and this is when they got Pete Alonso. They
It's a
got
they're in a weird state. Like after
Mhm.
last year's like huge huge disappointment of last year, they're trying to figure out they're trying to figure out what the hell happened, and and they're and getting Pete Alonso as a star. The issue,
yeah. My issue with them: too many whites.
the issue
Too
like
many whites.
the East is a very tough is a very tough division. So
Very
like
tough.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like
gu- like Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Anderson, Pete Alonso is a very good three. Who else you got?
I
I
feel
mean,
I
like
you
I
have
mean,
the Rush.
I think their hitting's going to be fine.
yeah,
I don't even think
they got Sammy Basalo's doing pretty well.
I
Yeah,
don't think the hitting's really the things we should be asking about here.
Yeah,
I think what
exactly.
we should be asking about is the pitching.
The problem was
yeah.
always the pitching. The
Not
problem
to
was always,
mention the
oh,
death gauntlet you're gonna have to go through. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, all of whom are poised to be extremely good this year, and I have them as team number 4 in the AL East.
That's the problem with
It's
the
a
AL
tough
East.
task.
That's the problem. It's a very tough division. Like, it's a tough division for all these teams, but like, I feel like the Orioles, like, they've made improvements, and guys like, even in the pitching core, like guys like Trevor Rogers and Kyle Bradish, when like he's healthy, is very they are both very good. I mean, Trevor Rogers quietly had a fantastic season last year, but it really comes down to the rest of the guys, because for especially during the first half, the Orioles pitching was like, they were like on a historically bad level. Like, it was not good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, after the Orioles, we'll go to the Tampa Bay Rays, which, congrats, you have your home back.
And and the owner's forced to sell. And that new
True.
stadium is something coming? I don't know. All I know is that just you know that's all I have about the Rays. That's it.
I like their hitting
Because
core. I think they got a good hitting core. It's just,
Mhm.
this will be a competitive. I think they'll be a competitive team, but I think they'll be in the 4 or 5 spot of the AL East.
Yeah, in my mind, the Rays exist. I mean, they're going to be 80, and I think they're going to finish like 80 and 82. But like, it's because Yankees, Orioles, Blue Jays, and Red Sox exist that it's going to be really,
oh, Magnum's
really.
internet went out.
Oh shit!
It's fine.
It's gonna be just a really tough spot to really compete for them.
Wow.
And I necessarily don't know what they have that's gonna be coming up. Like, it's something like, in order for them to really even remotely compete, you're gonna need your farm system to reinforce you in somehow or some way, and I don't know if they're going to have that.
Yeah, this team's just boring. Like, yeah, they got good pitching, but like, what else is there? Fucking, I mean, Cedric Mullins was an interesting pickup. I don't think he'll be inherently bad, but like,
I mean, Junior
fuck,
Caminero was pretty good.
yeah, but like,
I think, like, as I said, I think they got good hitters. It's just, I don't know what the pitching's gonna look like, especially with some of the guys coming back after like long time away.
I, I don't know. I think having to start Gavin Lux is not a good scene.
No longer 6'2" Gavin Lux.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
small.
those memes. Oh, those face
Well,
memes.
after the Rays, we're going over to the Boston Red Sox with no tennis racket here. Uh, look, man, this people can try to say this team's good. They're not. They're yeah. You can hype.
Their
You
pitching
can
core is fantastic. We can all agree on that. It is a
yeah.
fantastic pitching core. Like Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray, Brian Bello, uh, like all those guys, like they have a fantastic pitching core. The real question with the Red Sox is two things. How's their batters gonna do outside of Roman Anthony? And how's their defense gonna be? Because their defense was not good last year.
I mean, they have. Are you sure? Well, they have Cedane Rafaela. He's pretty good at defense. He's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
I just saw like I just remember seeing like for whatever reason, like the Red Sox, especially when Bregman was out, like their defense was just kind of ass, which was a bit surprising.
yeah, also I'm not sold. I'm not sold on having Wilson Contreras at the first baseman experiment, especially considering I don't really think that worked out well in St. Louis.
I mean,
Um,
it's a tale of like when catchers get old. They're just not a be they're just not able to be a catcher anymore. So they usually move him to like first base and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It happens. I'm fine with it. It's a warm body because first base has been a problem. I mean,
You saw them try to move Rafael Devers to first base, and that didn't work out.
Ugh.
Uh,
He's
I mean,
not
if
even on the team
I
anymore.
mean, if it's anything for if it's anything for Contreras, I will say, like I will say for Contreras, going from like Ollie Marimo to like Alex Cora, that is quite the upgrade, and I do think Cora's gonna get whatever he can out of this Red Sox roster. But I just have questions about the hitting core because if Roman Anthony goes down, they are fucked.
They're putting a lot of faith in a guy like Marcelo Mayer, and I don't remember the general consensus of him last year, but I remember that he wasn't really talked about for good reasons.
I didn't know if you talked about this before, but they did trade for Caleb Durbin, so they did trade.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Durbin should be a good. Durbin should be a good hitter, but I don't like.
And they still have Jaron Duran. They still have.
Yeah, I don't like banking on guys after having one good year, especially in baseball. But I'm also the dumbest person here when it probably comes to it. I just see Arlos Chapman and I go, ooh, 110 pitcher, and then I go on with my day. I don't know. They might be good. Yankees lose, even though they won today. Hey, guys, I just want to say real quick, shout outs to Aaron Judge, way to represent your country.
Captain America, right? Captain.
He got struck out by. My favorite moment is when he got fucking struck out by Red Sox minor league pitcher.
Look, man, I'm just gonna say this right now. Aaron Judge is gonna get shit all season, and it's deserved, in my opinion.
Dude, Cutter's King is having the time of his life right now.
Yeah. That aside, this Yankees team, they're the Yankees. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I never listen, man. Listen, man. These Yankees have been inconsistent as all hell, as like throughout the years, and I expect the year to be the same.
Yeah. I mean, they'll be frustrating, and yet they'll find a way to make the playoffs. That's how this works. Except when they're injured. Because that was what happened in 2023. But except when that happens, we know how this usually goes.
I
Look,
feel
man,
like
Bednar.
it really feels like with the Yankees, you
Huh?
feel like because it's the Yankees, you open they should be opening up the checkbooks a little bit more, because you look at the fucking Dodgers and oh my god, just the amount of money they poured into.
Well, the thing about like Brian Cashman is that he really likes his prospects. He really likes banking on the farm system. That's what he likes to do.
Know what the fun thing about the Dodgers? They have 3 of the top outfielding prospects in baseball. 3.
Yeah, but what are they? Yeah, they're gonna trade them anyway. So like, who cares? They're gonna trade.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I mean, I would want, like, I think Ozza, when he was on, said it best. It feels like they do these like band-aid solutions that doesn't help them solve like their greatest issue of like, feels like they're just going all of like the feeling they need to make sure you really do go all in, because look at what the Blue Jays are now able to do now as well. You have the Blue Jays to deal with, and it's not gonna be easy, and especially since it's the prestigious Yankees, it feels like they need to do a lot more than they already are.
Yeah. Again, they can have a pitching combo of Bednar, Cole, Fried, and Schlitter. At the end of the day, that pitching can only take you so far when you have to go into the playoffs. And once again, the Yankees have not shown up in the playoffs.
I wouldn't say that. I'm sorry. I like, first off, I don't know why you said Bednar. That he's a closer, but okay. I mean, Cole should be back this year, so that's a good thing.
Cole and Rodon, I know he'll be coming back in like April or May. Cole is expected to be May or June, so just keeping an update on that.
But my general point is the Yankees are blowing it. The Yankees are typically used to blowing it in big positions, and we'll see if that's kind of more the same this year.
So it's really funny because I just realized, I just had this thought pop into my head. Yeah, Judge actually did really well in the playoffs last year, which is why he struggled so much in the World Baseball Classic because he traded his success in the playoffs last year to not do well in the WBC.
I see. Interesting. Well, up next is the runner-ups, the Blue Jays. They're
Runner-ups in
reloading.
life and in free agency.
They did get. I will say this: getting Dylan Cease is a really nice pickup for them.
Yeah, but for that price though, for how much they paid for him, for that.
I mean, after you won a World Series, not won a. After you made it to the World Series, I think you are allowed a couple of those.
I mean, I
And
get
plus,
why
they
they're
also
going
got
all
Shane
in.
Bieber too.
Yeah, I get why they're going all in with it. Worth noting though that I know Shane Bieber is currently dealing with forearm fatigue, and I know crap, what is his name? They're really good. They're really good pitcher from
Tyler
like
Rogers.
Tyler You Savage.
you Savage. Yeah, he's also dealing with an injury right now, so that's not something you really want to see if you're the Blue Jays. I mean, they should be back when they get back, but obviously it's like, not something you want to see. But hey, Matt Scherzer's still here.
And plus, hey,
Probably this year. Probably is.
Oh boy.
as long as you got Vladimir Guerrero on this team, you'll always have a solo identity.
I got Okamoto.
That's the East. Now we're going down to the West.
And you're saying save the Mariners
let's just
for last
let's
because
just
I have a lot
don't worry.
to say.
Yeah, Mariners
Don't
alive.
worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'm gonna use that as my shower time. First things first. Let's talk about these fuck ass Angels. I mean,
Yawn.
They have Alek Manoah in the starting rotation
He's been
in
awful.
2026.
His velocity is down. His
Listen,
control isn't there.
You have faith in him. Listen, man. He has to. Listen, man. He was a Cy Young finalist at one point. There's clearly something.
And he's the reason the Blue Jays made that run. He wasn't there, but he's the reason.
why the fuck is Jorge Soler still on this fucking team? Why haven't they got rid of him yet?
Well, first off, they got him last year. So, and I mean, like I do like their hitting core. I'm a big fan of Hoppy and Neto. I do like them as players. Joe Adell had a big like surge last year, so I do like that. But Yohan Moncada is projected to be their starting third baseman. So
yeah, that's not great. Like the thing with the Angels, because I get to watch Angels games for better or worse. I get to watch these games. They have a really good hitting core, as you said, and like they know how to put runs out there. It's just they got no pitching. They still don't have pitching.
You say Kikuchi is still their number one option right now.
Kikuchi and Soriano, which Soriano's got the talent. It's more just inconsistency that kills them. But like outside of those two, it is bleak. Their pitching.
I mean, even in their bullpen, they have fucking Drew Pomerantz as one of their bullpen guys.
I mean, he did good last year. He did good.
He was
good.
That was after years of not pitching, and so
yeah, I know. It's just, you know what, he got the bag. He got the Angels bag. I'm not gonna blame him.
Yeah, they love their 1 year experiments, but like I mean like a lot of it's just their bullpen's a mishmash. Kirby Yates, Jordan Romano, and and like Drew Pomeranz. These are a lot of like reclamation projects, which is what the Angels are known for. So I shouldn't be surprised, but like
I think one of the stunning ways is look how they draft. They're the one team that never gets like the guy that they need to like spend at least a little bit of time developing. They go off of just name brand alone, and the real harsh thing is that they develop on name brand alone, and then they rush them to the majors as soon as possible. So they're not even able to develop their weaker strengths of their game. They're having to rely on what made them good. They can't fix their game. I mean, there was one reliever that I thought was going to be really good, but he's just been
Ben Joyce.
Yeah, Ben Joyce. Yeah.
Yeah, granted, he was hurt. He got
he's
hurt.
hurt.
That's why you haven't seen
But
anything
still,
from
they
him.
rushed him to the majors, and he's just been okay. Yeah, they don't choose to develop the players that they draft, and it's just the way how the Angels are run. I don't get it. It is. I genuinely believe this is in baseball one of the worst ran organizations in baseball. Like worse run than the Rockies. Like the Angels.
Also, as Josco noted, on the pitching point, remember they drafted an entire class of pitchers, and it all ended up not working.
They didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the Angels don't know how to develop their players. They don't focus on their minor league system. Their developmental system is a joke. And if you do not know how to develop, why are you here? Why are you playing baseball? It's been the biggest kryptonite. They had
I
Trout
wouldn't
and
say
Ohtani.
again. Like I feel like they can develop hitters. They can do that.
They can develop hitters. It's just
Yeah,
other
it's
side.
still the Angels are just they're unserious, and maybe they'll be taken more seriously when they finally realize that whatever they can get left for Mike Trout is probably the best thing to do. But there might be a loyalty thing there.
I mean,
so
I
won't
think
get into that.
they'll be more serious. They'll be more serious the days are not owned by Artie Moreno, but whoever knows when that day will be. By the way, if I may just say, just a reminder, their manager is Kurt Suzuki.
On a 1-year deal. A 1-year deal.
I have never seen a prove it deal to a manager. I have never ever seen that.
You're right. You don't know how right like that's incredible. I have never even like in like football, like basketball, hell, hockey. I've never seen someone had to prove themselves as your head coach. That's what your minor league system is for. If you want them to prove it, you put them in AAA. If they do well in AAA, then you promote them to be the bench boss. You don't do it to someone's first year. That's insanely dumb.
Yeah. Again, it's funny too because his longest tenured team wasn't even the Angels. It was Oakland.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but still, when you hire those kind of guys, it feels like they're like a fan.
Stephen
Vogt
manages the Guardians. He's only been there for like 2 years. He's only there.
Right, yeah, but I view it as the Raiders head coach. I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, I just view him as like an Antonio Pierce type thing, but it's just like I don't know, man. At least he was there for a while, but I don't know.
I feel like they always go for like, like with Joe Madden, Ron Washington. I feel like they go for like they go for name recognition. They go for.
Well, here's to another season of funny Angels baseball. Up next, the Texas Rangers.
Fuck you, proud Texas Rangers fan. You're a bitch. Okay, that's all.
It's been a weird couple. Like ever since they won the World Series, it's been a weird like arc for the Rangers. I really don't know what to think of them year after year. I really.
Yeah, I mean, 2024 2024 was just the injury season, and last year was the season where their pitching is extremely good. Their hitting is one of the worst in baseball.
But yet they get a guy like Brandon Nimmo that gives like some sort of life into the idea that these guys can hit again.
They had to shake things up, which is why they traded away Marcus Semien. So for like someone like Brandon Nimmo, because to retool whatever's going on in this hitting core, because they relied a lot on like their cores of like Carter, Garcia, Semien for that World Series run, but after that, Garcia's gone, Semien's gone, and all the prospects they've been looking for, like Josh Young and have been not panning out as of late.
Evan Carter.
Is Jock Peterson or Jake Berger starting at first base?
I'm on fan. Jake Berger. It says Jake Berger.
Oh man, fuck! What?
Remember, Andrew McCutcheon is on this team. Remember?
Oh god, dude, Jock Peterson has had the weirdest fucking career of all time. Imagine like being goated for like well, he was good, but like he was like so good for like
he had the David Freese run, He had the David Freese.
Yeah, and now he's just like dog shit in Texas for.
I wouldn't say dog. No, I wouldn't say that.
Wait, did he get hurt last? Oh, probably. Yeah. Still, it's weird. But hey, at least Mackenzie Gore's a pretty good.
It's a very good addition to their starting to the rotation, and which I do expect. I do expect the same from them because DeGrom reinvented himself that last year. He's relied a lot more on like finesse and deception in his later on in his career, which I think is a very good move.
Yeah.
And and I feel like they're hoping for like Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker to step up for this year as well.
Essentially, if the Texas Rangers can score more than 3 runs a game, they might have a chance of winning this division. If they only score 2 runs a game, they might be fucked. After that, let's go to the Astros.
Middle finger.
Okay. It has been it has been a rough. A lot of people left in free agency, and that sucked.
I think they'll still be fine if Yordan Alvarez can get back into form. I think they'll be fine, but it's gonna be one of those things where they're in this weird spot that they can be. It feels like they can be. It wouldn't surprise me if they're leapfrogged by the Athletics, and they're like the 3rd or 4th best team.
Like I just don't know about look at the outfield, man. Joey Loperfido, Jake Myers, and Cam Smith. While I am high on Cam Smith, like this is a very dire outfield right now.
And plus, again, I still don't get the position of Isaac Paredes.
Lance McCullers Jr. is still on this team, and he's in their rotation. And
It's listen, the thing that killed the Astros. The funny thing is like if we're talking about Paredes, it's like the funny thing is that their offense was doing really good until he got hurt, and the moment he got hurt, their offense just fell to a standstill.
And they had to reach back in their old box and get Carlos Correa back because they love bringing back their former players. They love it.
And it's just weird because it's like like health killed them in many areas last year, but it's like Yordan Alvarez, as talented as he is, because he's a fantastic player, he's been going through injury problems, and that kind of concerns me with how many injuries he's been going through. Not to mention guys like Jose Altuve, it's clear as day, like he's lost his speed. Like the speed that he used to have is just not there
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, remember when they try to experiment him in left field, and he was terrible at it. And he was
Like, also too, Jordan Alvarez, like, isn't he like he
had
did
a
not
down
have a great year.
and if he can get
He was
back into
hurt
form,
multiple
he's gonna
times.
be very good.
and their starting pitching. Losing Framber it does hurt, but not as much after that incident. But like
I mean,
relying
Josh
on
Hader's still pretty good.
Hader's
Well,
a
yeah.
bullpen guy.
Well, Hayden, like their bullpen is pretty. Their bullpen of Bobby Abreu and Josh Hader, like their bullpen is actually very good. But like
Yeah.
the starting pitching is the problem here because while Hunter Brown is very good, that's basically all they have right now because Christian Javier, he's been having a down year. Tatsuya Imai, their new acquisition, he's unproven, and so they have
Mike
to
Burrows could be good.
and Lance and again Lance McCullers Jr., who has been not good ever since like his return back, like.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like Brown is very good. Imai, while unproven, does have a lot of potential to be really good. That's still only 2 pitchers, and the rest of their pitching core is not exactly good. Because I remember like how bad like the bottom half of their starting rotation was. It killed them for a lot of the season, and I just remember mainly like. Outside of like June, I just remember like outside of that month, the Astros were like a mediocre at best baseball team for the entire season.
They're kind of dying.
Which
But-
is so beautiful to see.
But you want to know a team that isn't dying? The Oakland Athletics. God, this is a dumb team, but they're a fun team.
They're gonna be one of the young fun teams to watch. Like this is a team that it wouldn't surprise me if they were to win more than 82 games.
I do believe
they're what the White Sox. The way how I see the Athletics this year is what I'll see the White Sox next season. Really fun, fantastic young team. Tough. They're gonna be a tough out every single time you.
Oh,
play
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah, with like their hitting core is built for like for being very hard out. So with Jacob Wilson, Nick Kurtz, Jeff McNeil, Tyler
Max
Soderstrom,
Muncy.
Max Muncy, the other one, Denzel Clark, Lawrence Butler, Shea Langoliers. This is a stacked lineup. But the problem, it's the pitching.
What, you're telling me starting Mark Leader Jr. isn't a good idea to success?
Again,
Aaron Savali is in their starting rotation.
Luis Severino openly admitted that he regretted signing here. He's still on the team. He's
And flicking your feet.
Look, man, all I gotta say is this: the Athletics are gonna have to win are gonna have to score 21.
and just remember,
runs to win a game.
they're playing in a minor league ballpark.
I mean, to be fair, I think that works out in some of these players' benefit. In all honesty,
Yeah,
like
but, I mean,
especially for their
pitching-
play style.
I mean, think of the pitchers though. That's the thing. If I remember correctly, Luis Severino led the league in most home runs given, right?
Let me. I have no clue. Let me look. He. I think he did.
Either way, either way, their pitching is really tough, especially since they given up Mason Miller last year in the deadline. Of course, for a sweetheart deal. Like if you were given Leo DeVree for Mason Miller, you take that with no questions asked. But
Right.
it's still pitching is still very much an issue for the Athletics. I don't think it's going to hurt them that much because I think their hitting is just that good. And I do believe that they could be a playoff team. I think they are very I think they're a dark horse team for the AL this year. I think they're
They're the second best team in this division. We'll get to the last one later because we're saving. Because
Luke's Nick's been around this
Yapaholics Nick
podcast for a
State
while, and he'll know Luke
Yeah.
will say everything from top to bottom.
But yeah, let's go to the.
do you want to, is there any updates on like any of the Las Vegas move, Nick? I don't.
Only thing I can really say is all I know is that the cost will keep going up with the way things are going, and also Bally's is not doing their casino. So yeah.
Well, up
Yeah.
next we're going to the National League East, where we're gonna talk about the Miami Marlins, because I feel like that's the best one to drop everyone at.
I can't wait to rebuild them and replace them with Vancouver and call them the Tsunami. I can't wait to do that when I get MLB The Show sometime in April.
And Christopher Morel's in this lineup.
I have MLB The Show right now. In my mini season, I replaced my Diamond Dynasty team with I replaced Israel with my Diamond Dynasty team for the World Baseball Classic mini season, because of course I did.
Let's go. Owen Casey's a great pickup. I mean, obviously, it's the same thing as you said earlier. Like, whenever you're offered if you were offered Owen Casey for Carlos Cabrera, I think his name is.
It was Edward Cabrera. Edward
Cabrera. But yeah, when you're offered that, you take that.
I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised it was just like a 1-and-1 like trade for that. While Cabrera did have a good year last year, like I'm surprised they pulled the trigger that early for Casey. I guess we'll move on. We'll get to the Cubs when we get there. I mean, but you know, this hitting core as well. It's again, it's a transitional year for the Marlins. Like if I feel like they say that every year, but like I do believe in Bendix for this for the Marlins regime, this new Marlins regime. With these people.
Yeah. I will say this, they have the best pitcher combo name of all time with John King and Jansen Junk. That is like an elite pitch, like imagine going up against a guy named John King and then immediately out they have a guy named Jansen Junk going up against you. Out of Aura alone, I'm not hit. I will not take a swing at that because I'm afraid.
Including Casey, they do have very young talents like Kyle Stowers, Xavier Edwards, Connor Norby, and their good utility man Javier Sanoja, they got Christopher Morel. Look at that. I did say Connor Norby. I did say.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say I'm pretty dumb. But yeah, I mean they'll be better.
I don't expect them to make a lot of noise this year, of course, but I do believe they could be maybe not last in the division. That's something.
They could win 70 games this year. It's possible.
Right, the Marlins to me are a team that exists. They're there because
they have 2 World Series.
Yeah, but
don't forget that.
I know. But
yeah, but did they win their conference while doing it? I think not. Checkmate, liberal.
It's not even the checkmate part. It's more like the way how I view it. It's like, yeah, but they did this, but then I'm like, yeah.
It's Browns-itis. Well,
I'm more of just eternally turned off from this team. It's just, they're one of the ones where it's like, oh, dude, the Marlins, and I'm like, if I ever were to talk about them in any sort of fashion, it's just a giant next, because they can develop somebody into an absolute stud, but it's not gonna matter because they're just gonna go walk away or be in free agency or be traded away because they're never gonna pay them. It's the Marlins are just.
Oh yeah, what was the stat? The Miami Dolphins are paying more for like their players to not play than the Marlins payroll over the last 2 years. Yeah, I get it. But hey, I'll tell you what. At least the Marlins aren't the Nationals. Like, they had to sign Miles Mikolas. They're down bad. This is
They've like they've been in an eternal rebuild, and all they had to show for it was that haul they got for Juan Soto, where they're finally letting go, and
yeah.
it's just it's still very much a very
Yeah.
confusing like time for the Nationals.
Yeah, you know what's bad when I looked up like the roster, and this is what they had as one of the pictures for their pitcher right now. It's not even the same guy. Chat, I think that's a basketball player for Wyoming. I don't think that's Cole Henry.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that logo. I don't know what conference logo that is. I think that is Mountain West. Is that Wyoming?
Yeah, it is Wyoming because it's brown and yellow. Yeah. Dreadfully down bad bats right now. It truly dreadful.
They landed the first overall pick last year, so there's that. They drafted Eli Willits with it, so there is that.
By the way, he did play for Wyoming.
The way how I look at
But yeah, CJ Abrams and James Wood.
Oh yeah, I'm okay.
It's gonna be CJ Abrams and James Wood for the most part this year.
I'm mad at the Nationals because they optioned Harry Ford to AAA, and I'm like, fuck off. This guy's a major leaguer.
They have Keeper Ruiz. They have
No. Start Harry Ford.
Start my Pookie Bear, damn it.
Start my Pookie Bear, yeah.
Yeah.
I want my Pookie Bear in there.
Insanely down bad bats over here. We will not be respecting. Speaking of teams we will not be respecting, the New York Mets, but that's just out of principle of hating the Mets. They had such a good offseason. I hate it. They had such a good offseason. I hate it. Juan Soto, Bo Bichette, Juan Soto, Bo Bichette. No. I just mean like as like their core. Soto, Bichette, Lindor, Robert, Polanco. Dude, that's Marcus fucking Semien. Dude, that's such a fucking. That's
Marcus
so good.
Semien is. It's more of a. I mean, again, Marcus Semien did have a very down year last year, so I don't. It's more of a case of like seeing if they can find them. Even though Jeff McNeil also kind of had that similar issue last year as well, so who knows?
Yeah,
but
don't forget also Freddie Peralta.
True.
Yep.
Nolan McNeil too. I mean, he's. I mean.
You mean Nolan McLean?
Nolan McLean. I don't know why I thought it said McNeil. I
just said Jeff McNeil, and you just thought I talked about Jeff McNeil, and you just
subtle mind control. I mean, the Mets will be the Mets.
I still need to see consistency from them. That's the issue here.
Yeah, I think the real question really comes down to how's their pitching going to hold up? Because I just remember their pitching really falling apart during their collapse, and that was really a big reason why they just ended up missing the playoffs. Was their pitching was just not good.
Yeah, they had a total of 40 pitchers used.
Eesh.
Up and around.
And I mean, their starting pitching should be available. It should be fine for them right now with Freddie Peralta, David Peterson, and Clay Holmes, Nolan McLean. I don't know how reliable of health you can have for Kodai Senga at this point, but hopefully he can stay healthy at this point. But they also have Sean Manaea and Jonah Tong as their backups for now.
Yeah,
and Devin Williams, and their new closer is Devin Williams, and their new.
Or are they just gonna go fucking 80 and 84 again? Not 80, 84, 80 and 82 again. Is that what they're gonna do? Probably.
Maybe.
Well, after that, guys, we're gonna have to have a drug test. We're going to the Braves. Keep in mind, if you don't pass, we will be suspending you for the entire season.
Yeah, that, when do you not learn that doing drugs never pays off, man? Like, that's come on, man!
Look, man, first time's an accident, second time, that's on you. This is his third time, right?
No, this is the second time. This is
Oh.
this like he got an 80 day he had an 80 game suspension like last year, and then he decided to do it again. Like that's on you at this point. Like you can't deny that. You can't blame anyone else but you at that point.
I mean, hopefully Ronald Acuna Jr. doesn't tear his ACL this time.
Is he Dominican?
Ronald Acuna?
No. Jackson Profar.
Jackson Profar. I think he is.
It's the real. One of the weird unspoken truths. There's a lot of players who are from the Dominican Republic.
Oh no, he's not Dominican.
He's from Curacao. My bad.
Okay.
Where is Curacao?
It's in the Caribbean. But
okay.
It's owned by the Netherlands.
I think it fits the narrative. I think it fits the narrative still.
It's owned by the Netherlands.
Guys that are international free agents that are from Latin America, they face a lot of pressure.
What I do. Sorry, I do know what you were going with the Dominican Republic, because there is it is very unsanctioned over there, and so these doctors are willing to do anything to help out their players. So even without telling them, they can prescribe them with illegal steroids, and that's it. It's an issue. A lot of MLB players suspended for steroids have been Dominican. It's been a trend. So
it is a trend, but not quite the point I was getting at. There's a lot of pressure for them to make it, because the way how they see it, once you make it to the majors, there's a lot of pressure, because especially it's just the statute of baseball culture where the average player just doesn't get paid.
Well, here's the thing, Juggerbear Profar, he was a journeyman at that point.
You see, that just proves my point. If you're that journeyman S-type player, it's hard to find consistent work. So you're trying to find any sort of edge to help you. You're trying to basically not get caught with steroids. It happened to Noelle Marte. The pressure to rise through the farm system as fast as you can, there's a lot of pressure with that. And a lot of guys from the Latin America, they feel that pressure because you want to get that superstar money. Because a lot of that, you want to do a lot of cool things what other what other Latin American players are doing. Look at what Julio Rodriguez was able to do recently. He was able to build a stadium in his hometown. He's gotten 2 ambulances for his local hospital. He's done a lot of cool things, and he wouldn't be able to do that if he wasn't so damn good at baseball. And I think a lot of guys, especially, it's about sending money home to their families, that money that they could really need. And that pressure, especially I think about guys that are struggling in the minors, in the minor leagues, trying to get that top tier money. It's a lot. Players in Latin America, there's a lot of pressure. Be good. It's insane.
It's just the unfortunate cycle of the MLB where it's so fucked up, because we can just it's so weird because we can't draft a 16-year-old out of high school if you were born in America, but if you're born in the Dominican, as soon as you're 16, you can sign an MLB contract. You can be drafted immediately.
Well,
it's just kind of
you're more signed, and it's why it's especially when you're looking at your farm teams, really pay attention to your Dominican summer league teams. like a lot of guys are playing like 17, 18. They're playing against former pros, former guys who have experience in the minor leagues, and if they're balling out, like when they come eventually when they're 18, when they come overseas to the rookie circuit, to the low A circuit, it is really exciting to really follow their journey. There are 2 players that I've been yapping about their faces off ever since this podcast has started. I bet Nick could tell me who they are.
Yeah. God, there's so many Mariners prospects that honestly they've just gotten fused into my head. There's so many of them that you've talked about that it's just gotten all crammed together.
Like that's like, because like I would totally focus on more of about baseball in general, about like everybody else's teams. But it's specifically I like to zero in on the Mariners because like I like to know about like the future, and the future is always a very exciting thing to consistently talk about. And yeah, but it's crazy amount of pressure for players in Latin America. It's that I find it's like that unforgotten layer that's so important about player development is that you can't just draft. You have to be able to look and develop players in Latin America. Like it's this insane amount of money that's being invested in, especially the Dominican Republic, for baseball. It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, back on the Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. They will be sending you a personal, like a customized ACL if you tear it again this year. Like they will just find the most like localist fan, and he will subject himself to cruel horror to get you back on that baseball field. Other than that, Matt Olson is pretty cool, and Chris Sale looks
good.
Worse.
I think
not like play wise worse. He looks worse.
Looks older. I think that's
don't slip on their pitching. The pitching will jump you if you're not got page. I still think their starting rotation is still top 5.
Yeah, I just think the Braves. The only thing that really matters outside of Profar doing stupid shit is just can they stay healthy. That's the only question that really matters here. Because if there was any, like they could not stay healthy last year to save their lives.
Yeah. Well, moving on, the Braves, we have the Phillies. Bryce Harper, you could have chose Chicago. You chose Philly, and I hope you stay in this hell. You deserve this. In other news, if you do want to come to Chicago, I will personally get the limo there. Anywho, yeah, it's pretty weird over here in
They're fine, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. They're fine.
The Phillies will be more than good enough to make the playoffs on pitching alone. I mean, you're gonna be getting Wheeler back at some point. You have Sanchez, Luzardo,
and Andrew Painter's probably.
Yeah, Andrew Painter has been one of their...
They don't have no Nick Castellanos. How are they gonna win now?
How are they gonna win now? I mean, the thing is, look, I'm gonna be completely
with
real.
Adolis Garcia. I think they're fine.
I'm gonna be completely honest. The Phillies are at the point where it's like, I'm tired of this team. Can you just prove people wrong in the postseason? Like, I'm tired of playing this same game over and over again.
It's been regression, like, ever since they made it to the World Series. They've gone lower and lower. And so, like, it's diminishing returns for them. Like, at some point, they have to prove themselves that this team is worth keeping together. And with Castellanos leaving, I feel like that is going to be a real challenge for them. I mean, they did get Schwarber back, but I don't know how long that can last.
Not to mention The interesting comments between Dave Dombrowski and Bryce Harper in the offseason. It's worth noting that.
Yeah. Well,
Quite difficult predicament.
that's kind of it on the Phillies. Now let's go to the West. Guys, let's get the Dodgers out of the way. They're good. Nothing's gonna change.
They'll be fine.
See you in the
I mean,
playoffs.
listen, after last year, where like everyone got injured from to hell and back, and they even struggled to even win the division at that point. Like I'm still never going to be I'm still never going to like say that everything is set in stone. I don't like doing that, especially in baseball where it is so easy, where anything could happen.
Right.
I do, but like on paper, of course, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. I mean, you know, they're
Yeah, I
They'll be
feel like
back in the playoffs.
even with their injury issues, I feel like at worst they'll be a playoff team, and that's at worst.
Yeah. Yep, that's the Dodgers. Who really cares? But you want to know who really cares? Let's talk about the Diamondbacks. Who's down in the mud for some real Diamondbacks baseball? They got Nolan
Weird about
Arenado
the
back.
Diamondbacks. They're in a weird
not
spot
back.
for me.
Not-
They're not.
Oh.
I don't think. I want to think they're gonna be competitive, but I feel like they're just ready to hit the button to like launch the goddamn nukes. But
Carlos
then again, they're gonna
Santana's
win.
still here. He's still in the league. Yeah.
I feel like on Luke's point, I feel like they're ready to do that, but at the same time, I've also noticed that the Diamondbacks find a way to at least like win like 70 to 80 games every.
I do not think
season.
that. Listen. I do not think that like the Diamondbacks would do something like that. If anything, I feel like they just retool because that's what they like to do.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
also,
it's
like,
just
what I mean
the
by
big
launching
issue
the
with the
nukes
Diamondbacks. I do like their hitting core. I think they have a really good hitting core. It's just like other teams we've talked about. The pitching is not good, and in the
Their pitching
Diamondbacks,
their pitching has regressed a lot. Zach Gallen,
especially with Corbin Burns still on the sideline.
Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly have regressed a lot in their later years. Brandon Pfaadt is still very much unproven, and Ryan Nelson and Eduardo Rodriguez are the back end of that rotation, which is very tough for them at this.
They also got Michael Soroka.
That too.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Luke?
I think what I mean about like the Diamondbacks, like they're a team that's going to launch the nukes and then retool in the offseason because oh my god, we're like 4th in the AL West. But then they're gonna do something ridiculous and then after selling and then realize, oh shit, we finished 2nd in the AL West at the end of the year. We need to be aggressive and retool this team.
I really don't know. I do like this. I do like this team on paper. I just feel like if they do succeed, I need to see Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly back in their form 2 years ago. I think that's the issue here.
I think that's the only way.
Yeah. Speaking of the only way, the only way that the Dodgers even have a remote challenge of losing the West are the San Diego Padres, which was my clean transition. Also, I only wanted to talk about them because I realized Nick Castellanos was on this team now. LMAO. May he cast horrors upon the Dodgers. Anywho, this team's still good.
I mean, he's just there as like their DH now, so I don't think it's nothing really.
He's DH. He is the DH of the Padres.
Look, man. At least they still got Mason Miller, man. God, that
Listen, man. If that bullpen can keep up last year, I think they'll be perfectly fine. Losing Dylan Cease hurts. That hurts a lot. But I like they do have very good. They do have some good starting pitching in Michael King and Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove, as their top three. I do like that.
I mean,
Randy
Darvish
Vasquez,
is still
yeah.
getting fun.
Randy
Darvish
Vasquez
is
and then
Darvish is
Marquez.
done.
Wait,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
retired?
No, he's currently going through an injury that he might not be able to come back.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought he was still good. My bad. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Randy Vasquez and Herman Marquez are in the back end of the bullpen. I mean, of the rotation, and Griffin Canning, and Walker Buehler is there too. If that makes a difference. But other than that, like it's a lot of like this core is getting old. I think that's a lot of the problem here because like other than Jackson Merrill, like their youth has been very much depleted, especially after the trade to get Mason Miller. That hurts them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but like with like outside of Tatis, like I've like Machado, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, Ramon Laureano, Xander Bogaerts. These are like I feel like in the curve, I feel like they're in the downturn of their careers for most of those players, you know. And
Mhm.
I don't know if that's a recipe for success for the Padres at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Machado's gonna be what, 34 this year? Fucking like Jake Cronenworth is going to be 30. Fuck, he's 32. Yeah, this roster is just unk ball. It's weird. Well, let's get to the San Francisco Giants because I didn't have a clean transition. What I mean,
I mean, the most interesting thing this year is the most interesting thing about them this year is that is their managerial choice actually, because they went the college route. They
That's
got
surprising.
I'm
the
really
manager of
interested.
Tennessee.
I'm really interested in how that pans out because if Tony does well with the Giants, I could see that really opening the path for more college managers to think about, heading to the majors if, teams are interested in that because this could create a new pipeline that could really change things for managers. But obviously, that's a wait and see.
yeah.
Like they're still trotting along. Like they got Luis Ariz in the off season, which is a good pull for them. So I do think. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
They're a very middle of the road team. I'm not exactly sure what their ceiling is at this. I don't know how well Devers is going to be in his second year here in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll be fine.
Jung
he'll be
Hoo Lee is
better.
returning this year. Jung Hoo Lee is going to make a return, so hopefully he'll be fine. I do like Elliot Ramos.
Yeah.
The weird thing about like the Giants is like they're the team that I think should do extremely well, but at the same time I'm just so uncertain about them.
There's a lot of uncertainty on this team, and that's the thing, because especially especially with the Padres and Dodgers in the same division as you, like that's a lot of that's a lot of like that's some big competition, that you have to be against.
Yeah, I do think I think the Giants can take that jump and make the playoffs this season. But as you noted, there's there's the uncertainty about, well, there's still these questions we have about them, and they're competing in a very tough division, or a very top-heavy division, I should say.
I will say this. The biggest thing about them that I'm looking forward to, did Logan Webb actually throw that 114, or was the MLB pitcher comm on crack that day? Because because you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I
Where
don't.
apparently,
I
like
don't remember that.
he apparently, like, one of the Giants pitchers, I want to say it was him. He threw like a 114 mile per hour pitch. But I heard people say that it was like a calm thing, but I also heard people say no, that actually happened. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. I don't. Uh,
Well, regardless, we saved the division winner for last, the Colorado Rockies. You know, with a core of Hunter Goodman, Zach Dean, Mickey Moniak, and
I really
Jordan
wish. I
Beck.
really wish Chris was here. I really wish Chris.
Yeah, look, man, the Rockies are. Ooh, buddy.
The fact that Chris Bryant may never play baseball again is.
I'm just. I don't know. Thinking about Chris Bryant just makes me sad. You know.
Yeah,
Thinking about.
sad.
Dude, they're fucking Willie Castro is a utility guy, and they're forced to start him. That's how bad this team is.
Well, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, like Willie Castro's fine as as an anywhere guy, which I guess the Rockies like to do for some reason. And they do have good players. I like Ezekiel Tovar, Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck, Brenton Doyle. Though I like those players. But that's not a. This is not a serious team. This is not.
Oh
a,
yeah.
Hello, Jose Quintana.
This
Kyle
whole
Freeland-
joke of a
Kyle
baseball
Freeland is
organization,
their
man.
opening
They
day
throw
starter.
a shitload of money at
holy
Chris
shit,
Bryant.
Keegan Thompson is on this team.
Kyle Freeland is still here. For some reason, he is
Free
still
him
here.
Free him for Scarlet, man. Free him for Scarlet.
Yeah, look, man. Do we think that the Rockies can hit 50 wins this season? Like, genuine question.
No. They'd be lucky.
I mean, listen, man. Listen with how Coors is. I do like they're as usual. I think their hitting will be fine, but like this, as always, they just don't like pitching. They just don't like going for pitching.
There's no such thing as pitching.
Well, going from that to the Central, let's talk about the Central teams. First things first, let's talk about the Cardinals. Ha ha! You guys suck now.
They have been, yeah. It's. I mean, they blew it up.
It's what
They blew it
Starknover's
up.
gonna do. They're gonna. It's gonna be some painful years for the Cardinals, and oh, what's that? Their stands fucking empty. So much about loyalty, eh?
Best fans in the league.
Wow.
Best.
Yeah.
No. Oh, hey, this is the same group that canceled Pride Night because their fans got so angry at it.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I do think their hitting core could be all right. I mean, I know they got some youth coming in, so their hitting core could be all right.
I mean, JJ Weatherholt is gonna make the jump. They still have Mason Wynn and Victor Scott II. And those are very good players.
They got the
So it's
pitching
like, I can see
coordinator,
that, but it's just that pitching is going to be atrocious.
Yeah, since they traded away Sonny Gray, which is like their only like reliable pitcher at that point that last year, and now they're relying on people like Matthew Liberatore, Dustin May, Andre Palante, Michael McGreevy, and Richard Fitz. Who are these people? Who are
Lombard Montague, Grace McLady.
someone that I really, really like, and I hope it's something to keep an eye on. We may see maybe at the end of this year is Gianluigi Shincharge. He was brought over from the Mariners of the Brendan Donovan deal. He is going to be really good. He is a switch hitting pitcher, so he pitches with both arms, and he's someone that it depends what the Cardinals' plan is with him, but he's somebody that is a player that I would really circle to watch out for, being able to pitch with both arms reliably well enough. He's got similar movement when he throws. He mostly throws right-handed, but he's got similar movement with his left-handed. If you keep him throwing from one hand as a starter, you have a bullpen arm with the left-hand side of the thing. He needs Tommy John surgery? That's fine. He'll throw bullpen with his other arm. He is somebody like I would be really excited for. I was hoping to see him debut at the Mariners, but this is somebody you might have to watch out for. He might be really good.
Kyle Bloom is trying to set a precedent of trying to create something like he did in Boston, which I see a lot of that right now, and I do think the future, at least it's going to be tough for the first couple of years, but I do see them building up in the future because people like Mesa Wynn and Victor Scott are people you build on as a franchise. So there is that.
Yeah. I will just actually, before we get to the next team, I just want to say on a basketball note, check the score of the Florida game.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, last I checked, it was pretty close.
Let's see, ESPN. Let's have a look.
Hold on,
let me put on my reading glasses.
I'm sorry, I was too busy.
Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Oh.
Okay, let me see. Oh God!
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, what? UConn, what the fuck are you doing against Furman?
Funny.
Why is it a 4-point game?
Jesus Christ, 114 to 53. Jesus Christ.
Flight Reacts gift right now. Ugh.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Okay.
Yeah.
I
All
get
right.
it. You want to win. All right. Here you
Yeah.
go.
All right. Anyways.
Up next we have the Cincinnati Reds, which, wow,
They made the playoffs.
I can't.
They made the playoffs.
Wait, the Red. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot that.
Don't worry. A lot of people did. Don't.
Look, man. Again, this is just the same. This is the same crew as last year. It's Ellie De La Cruz and a bunch of pitchers. That's it.
Also, Eugenio Suarez. I almost forgot.
Oh,
Gino,
yeah.
goodbye,
Gino's back.
Goldie.
Gino is back. I mean, they did get people like JJ Bleday. Key Brian Hayes is back on here. So I think they're still sticking with the script here from last year. And yeah.
I just wanted to say it's funny because on Google, like normally they have like a ton of like like the non-pitcher positions and like the big pitcher. No, they literally have like a couple of the like the position players, and then the next one below is pitcher, center fielder, pitcher, 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 pitch.
They do have a very good rotation with Singer, Abbott, Lodolo, Burns in that rotation. That is very good. That is.
Oh yeah, their rotation is extremely good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, only issue right now is I know Hunter Green is on IL, which that obviously sucks. But either way, they still do have like a really good pitching core, and really for the Reds for what they were able to do last year, really it just comes down to can the hitting core do enough? Like that's really what's going to come down to is can the hitting core do enough? Also the bullpen, can the bullpen do enough for the starting pitching?
Do you really trust them though? That's the thing. Do you really trust Bob Castellini to like really like?
No.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do not
my
trust
thing is
them.
too. Ellie had a good year last year, but he didn't really take a step into the next category.
Ellie is a very inconsistent player, and I think that's just what we're gonna. I think that's just what we can learn at this point. I think that's just what Ellie's gonna be at this point. I think
it's just funny that he can look like an MVP through like the entirety of like May, June, but then July and August hits and he forgets how to throw a baseball.
I
It's
feel like
just-
he's
it's
someone
weird.
that should be out of worldly, but he's just not. He's like elite,
He probably
but
just
not
needs better
outerworldly.
development.
he's like
The
he's like the mid evolution of like of like O'Neal Cruz. You know, he's like the
Yeah.
and the big evolution is like, I don't know, Pete Crow Armstrong or something. I don't know.
I
Pete
feel like
Crow-
he's. I feel. Would you say like his development? He's kind of like stalled out now. Like
Yeah, I think the Reds just have terrible development because
yeah.
yeah, obviously they're like what I forget his name. Joey Votto, yeah. Like Joey Votto, like yeah, he was there for a long time and eventually he developed into one of the best players. But was there ever anyone alongside Joey Votto?
Well, that's not really on them because they paid Votto a lot, so they couldn't really get anyone in free agency. There is that.
Right, yeah, I'm just saying they don't know how to develop from within the system. That's what
I mean, they did have people like Matt McClain and Spencer Steer in the farm system, so I wouldn't say that. And they developed into pretty good players. I wouldn't say franchise players, but they certainly are good. I just don't think the ceiling is high for the Reds. Like especially after people forgot they were even in the playoffs in the 7th seed. For people forgot. Like I don't know what I think that's gonna hurt them more because I feel like that means they're just gonna stick with what they're doing. I think that's just
yeah. Well, moving on from the Reds, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates, which, you know what? Credit where it's due. You want to know what the Pittsburgh Pirates did this offseason? They paid people. They gave people money. And that's something they never do. So I will give them props for that. Now, that being said, Paul Skeens still has a timer on him before he becomes a Los Angeles Dodger. I'm joking. He'll probably stay there. But, all I will say...
Matt, pick Red Sox, take your bet.
We'll see.
Folks. Take your bet.
We'll see. But for now, I will say this. I do feel like Pittsburgh is pretty handily the third best team in this conference, but that's not saying a lot considering that the Cardinals blew everything up, and Ellie De La Cruz cannot play 9 positions at once.
You mean I think you mean O'Neal Cruz.
I think he was talking about the Reds in terms of.
Yeah, I was talking about the Reds.
I mean,
we're talking about the Pirates now. We're talking about the.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
saying
talking
they're the
Pirates.
third best team because Ellie De La Cruz
Oh, my
can't play
bad.
9.
Okay,
Nah,
my
you're good.
bad. My bad. I was.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with the Pirates. I'll believe it when I see it. That's kind of how I am with this team. Like, I want to believe that the Pirates are heading in the right direction, but then I remember who owns this team, and it's just like, the Pirates could. I think the Pirates should be better than how bad things got last year. But if it isn't, then I'm expecting another Pirates video by Tree.
I think I did. I remember predicting that they would be in a wild card spot at some point. I do think that, especially with how their pitching is, Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Bubba Chandler, Jared Jones, Braxton Ashcraft. That's a very good rotation. Very good.
And I
Very
feel
good
like unlike the
rotation.
Reds, they have way better hitters on that squad compared to
I don't know, dude.
I
Like their hitting's been awful. That's the problem. And I get you got guys like Ryan O'Hearn and all that. Like Marcell Ozuna really was not that good when he was playing, but I don't know, man. Like
I mean, that Connor Griffin's gonna make the jump very soon. There's
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Griffin should be up there soon, which that will help. But it's like it's still just it's still a wait and see with that. And also, as good as O'Neal Cruz is, he's had a tendency to have some very bad moments on the field. Let's just describe it as that.
That's fair. I'm just saying, I still think they're better than the Cardinals and Reds, for
I
what
don't
it's
know
worth.
about the
Well, that's
Reds.
not really
Cardinals
saying
are
a lot.
better than the Cardinals. Yeah, I'd agree. But the Reds, I still gotta wait and see
I
on
just
that.
I need to see more of their hitting core. That's the issue here. That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Also, their bullpen too. I need to see how their bullpen's gonna look because that some a lot of times that seems to shoot them in the ass.
Yeah. Well, after the Pirates, we'll get to the Brewers now, in which, um, again,
Bridesmaids, the baseball team, they went
they're
through
they're, they're
players.
doing they're doing the standard Brewers. They're doing the standard Brewers stuff, which is trading away a bunch of players out of, and they somehow find they somehow find like great talents on.
Andrew Vaughn again.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
which is it's very weird considering that they traded away Caleb Durbin, who was a fucking rookie of the year finalist. Uh, that was weird. But they did replace him with Luis Rengifo, so there is that.
yeah.
I don't know if Andrew Vaughn's I don't know if Andrew Vaughn's like resurgence with the Brewers is sustainable for this year, but that's a wait and see. But other than that, like Bryce Terang, Sal Frelick, Jackson Churio, Joey Ortiz, he's William Contreras, they are that is a very good core. Christian Yelich at DH. Uh, so
Yeah.
there is that. Pitching wise, Brandon Woodruff's going to be back. Chad Patrick, and uh, and apparently uh, Ms. Jacob Mizrowski, he's going to be the opening day starter. So I guess they're very high on him.
Look, man, he throws very fast. I want to see him pitch more than like I want to see more from him. For what it's worth, he had a fantastic year last year. I just want to see more.
Well, fantastic. Like
But
a couple games at least.
yeah, no, I gotcha. At the end of the day, I'm expecting the Brewers to be exactly where they were in the middle of the season last year, where they're floating around 500, where they're like
That is not what
35.
the Brewers are like at all. I don't know what you're talking
No,
about. They are not
they were
floating around 500. They're
no, I mean like in the middle of the season, they were floating around 500, and then they just sprawl out into this
I
big,
wouldn't say
huge
that. They
hitting
were
streak.
like, I mean, I mean, they were just slightly above average, and then they kind of just
Yeah, I think it
had
was
that one.
earlier than I think it would be earlier than middle of the season when the Brewers did that, but like basically like by like June or July, that's when everything
Yeah,
really kicked into full swing for them.
yeah. Well, after the Brewers, we have the Cubs, which good year last year. I like the additions they made this year. Um, I'm excited for this season. I have no issues because I feel like this is mostly I feel like this is relatively the same roster except you replace Matt Shaw with Alex Bregman, and I guess you also replace you're putting Suzuki back out into right
Yeah, they're
field
putting Suzuki
or
back at right field after
Yeah,
the after,
granted, I know Say's injury, like it's not that bad, so it's just gonna like he's not having to like be shut down or anything, which is great news. It's just a wait and see as to what happens and all that.
yeah. I am I am very surprised they didn't really do much in starting rotation wise, but outside of trading for Edward Cabrera. I kind of surprised with that.
I mean,
Like,
when you think about it, we did have a lot of starting rotation injuries last year when we lost Steele.
yeah, and Seals, he's not going to be starting for the, he's not going to be here for the opening day. So I
Yeah.
don't I don't know what the road is for Steel right now. I but like Matt Boyd and Shota Imanaga are still in that, and Tyon are still in that, are still in the top rotation, which is, I don't want to say concerning, but the fact that they didn't really think about, like, they didn't do much besides trade for Cabrera. They didn't really go for like a they didn't do something like trade for like a, not or like sign a big like a big deal arm like Christopher Sanchez, or like a is or Ranger Suarez, is very surprising to me.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I think the
I
more
think it's
surprising
more.
thing. Go
I
ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's more. I'm fine. I'm fine with it because I know. I mean, I know Boyd doesn't have like the, like the amount of like starts he usually has, because that's kind of why he had his struggles in the second half, was because he had not started that many games in a very long time. So that's why you saw the fatigue really kick in for him. But I think Boyd will be fine. I know Tylone's had a rough spring training, but I think once he shakes it off, he should be. I think he'll be fine. I am a little just hesitant about Shota Imanaga. Much as I love the guy, it's just that he had a rough ending to last season, and I'm hopeful. I'm really hoping he's able to get back to what we saw in like 2024, or more of what we saw in the first half of 2025 than what we saw to end 2025. But I do have faith in this pitching staff. I have faith in Tommy Hotovy and all that. I have faith in them to handle this well. I'm more just wondering. I will say, on the pitching side of things, I am wondering who is going to replace who's going to replace Brad Keller in the bullpen. That's what I'm wondering. Who's going to be that eighth inning guy for the Cubs?
I mean,
Is what
they
I'm
did
wondering.
have they did sign Phil Maton,
I
so
mean,
I feel like that's their plan, to make him as the setup guy for Palencia. A-
Yeah.
And,
see, my thought is just they're gonna try to make Ben Brown into a bullpen arm. That's
I
my
mean,
idea.
Ben Brown is more or less a long reliever. Uh,
Yeah. Granted, I know he did add another pitch in the. I know he added another pitch. Which that from what I've seen seems to really be helping him, but obviously spring training and regular season are two much
I
different
mean,
things. So
they did get bullpen arms like Phil Maton, Hunter Harvey, and Hobie Milner in the
yeah.
offseason. So they are trying to rebuild with their bullpen, because uh, they were last year, they had to like dumpster dive for that, because which is why we got people like Drew Pomeranz,
Mhm.
who while good, he didn't play in the league for like a couple of years. So
Yeah.
they needed more. They need more like stable guys in their bullpen, which I think is good. And what we saw in the World Baseball Classic, Daniel Palencia is very much, very, like Daniel
He's got
Palencia
the
is very
star
much
energy.
yeah, he'll be fine as a closer.
Mhm.
I think the World Baseball Classic proved it. I think the
Yeah. But
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not even that worried about pitching. My bigger concerns about hitting, which is what I'll get into in a moment. I think our pitching's perfectly fine, because the idea that I've always had going into this free agency, it's this. Okay, when we think about it in hindsight, the Cubs were missing two of their best pitchers going into the postseason last year. So
Mhm.
the idea, well, that being Cade Horton and Justin Steele. So my vision was like this. Okay, I get why they bring back Iganama, because he was a consistent arm and he was third in our rotation last year, and being third in the rotation, he was still fairly good.
Mhm.
So in my head, it's like Matthew Boyd. They're thinking like it's Edward Cabrera, Matthew Boyd, Justin Steele, Cade Horton, and then you have Shota Iganama and like a Jameson Taeyoung as like your rotating fifth guy. And in my head, I'm like, that's perfectly fine. That's
Yeah.
a fantastic lineup.
Mhm.
My issue is coming from the
Me-
hitting side of things.
my thing about Steele is that, like, with all the setbacks in his like recovery, like I don't know like what we'll expect from him. I think that's the issue for me.
I think that's the.
I have hope for him personally. But yeah, it's just hitting for me is kind of what's getting me off because obviously getting Alex Rickman's a huge plus for hitting. My thing is P had a very good start hitting earlier in the season,
I am
and
very.
then
I'm
he tapered off towards
I
the
am
end.
very surprised that they didn't think about keeping Matt Shaw as their full time third baseman after his second half. I'm surprised by that. I'm more surprised that I'm also surprised that with them signing Bregman that Shaw is still on this team because I
Maybe
would
they're
have
trying
thought
to make him a utility guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with Shaw being a utility guy. Granted, I'm also saying this because in the wake of anything happening with Thea, we could really use some utility guys, and Shaw knows. I think Shaw can work as
I am on
a
Fangraph right now, so it does say that Matt Shaw has a 13% like it is projected that Matt Shaw would be in right field 13% of the time, at least in
yeah,
according to
Yeah.
Fangraphs.
yeah,
So
which
there
I'm
is that.
fine with. Like as much as Shaw, like as long as Shaw can show like improvement and all of that, and be good at his role, I'm perfectly fine with keeping him around unless teams are willing to give up a great asset for him. Which in that case, okay, yeah, I'm willing to move off of him. But I will say this though. In terms of Cubs batters, I am very excited to see how Ballesteros does. I'm
Oh
very
yeah,
Same.
excited to see how he does.
he made it's official that he made the opening day roster, and so it seems like their plan is to make him the full DH at this point,
Yeah.
which I am very much interested in, and I do hope that it does work out. So, but like, which makes the outfield being Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Seiya Suzuki, which is a very
Yeah.
good outfield defensively. Which is
Yeah. But here's why I'm getting into why hitting's my concern. While I think Ballesteros will be good, you never know how a rookie's going to hit going into the into the show. And while I think we still have some of the good hitters, like Bush is a fucking beast, Bregman's going to be pretty good, and even the guy like Nico Horner, even though he doesn't hit home runs, he just has a very good average. My thing is Ian Happ's getting older, and it's clear that his hitting just isn't showing up all the time anymore. I
what
don't
version
think
of
Pete.
what version of Pete Crow Armstrong are we gonna see? Are we gonna see first half or second half Pete Crow Armstrong? Are we gonna see?
Yeah. Also, too, Carson Kelly was a massive result of some of the big hits last year. Is Carson Kelly going to be able to come back and you know be able to produce
They
the same
are
amount of hitting numbers as he did
as for
last year?
they're keeping they are keeping like the tandem, the platoon of Kelly and Amaya at catcher.
Yeah, Amaya is back. So.
Yeah. So like that's another concern I have. Um again, I know Dansby isn't a guy, but I still want to see more out of him in terms of hitting. I
If
get
any,
he's not the hitter.
if anything, they are great.
Yeah.
That is there is that.
Fantastic defense. I'm perfectly fine with that. I've seen this time before. Cubs get a lot of really good defensive guys who have the potential who have a lot of good hitting if they can hit. And my thing is I get a little worried going into each year because in my eyes it's like if the hitting goes cold, the defense can't save this because then we have to go out and just hope that even though we have a really good pitching rotation, we have to hope that they basically throw like no run games throughout most of the game and just hope that you know like one of our guys hits a run and wins a game like 2-1. But other than that, that's like my only concern going into this season.
Yeah, and like their fuck I can't their backups. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked out for a second. They got players like Dylan Carlson, Chaz McCormick, Michael Conforto. Uh, so like
Kevin Alcantara.
yeah, but he's still in the minors. I'm pretty sure. I think he's gonna start off in the minors at least. Uh, so like they're I don't know if like how I don't think their depth is really that good right now. I that could be fixed. Of course, they could find people in the minors for that, but that is something that I am kind of worried about with the depth.
Yeah,
I
I
will
mean,
say this.
we'll see what happens with it. Well, all I've learned from Cubs baseball over the years is that the season doesn't truly begin until May or June, and a lot of times the Cubs usually struggle around that time. So last year was a lot better than it usually was around that time. So if the Cubs can just figure things out during the summer, I will be more than confident about what's happening. But obviously it's going to be a wait and see with how things look and play out.
Last thing, um, stop bunting. Please, for the love of God, stop making people bunt. Anywho, Luke, talk about the Mariners while I go to the bathroom and shower.
Wow! Wow.
I got work in the morning, so
Only be,
is
it's
it
just so I
okay?
don't be stinky.
I
Okay.
got work in the morning, so is it okay if I can just check out
Yeah, you're
when
good.
you
You're
Yeah,
good,
with
do
man.
your
what you got to do. You're all
cool
good. Do what you got to do.
cool? I'll leave you to your your Marinos ranting, Luke. Uh, good night, everyone. Good.
Glares from a distance. All
S
right.
SM. All right, Luke. Autism rant. Go.
Fuck you. All right. Mariners baseball season. I'm really excited about the Mariners this year. Coming off after the after an ALCS appearance of all things. Didn't expect that to happen. Going to Game 7 against the Blue Jays. Oh, the boys are fired up this year. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. That is the Cal Raleigh and Randy Rosarena, the most nonsensical drama that ESPN needs to just shove in my face. Can they piss off with that? For real. That shit is the most nonsensical drama I have ever seen. Um, yeah, I got one thing, and that's all I have to say about that. To Mr. Randy Rosarena, are you in? Because if you're going to be this petty about, I don't know, being upset that Cal Raleigh wouldn't shake your hand, yeah, you might, you need to grow up, bitch. Like,
It's really weird. If I may chime in on that, it's really weird because I've been seeing a lot of I've been seeing not just the media, I've been seeing a lot of baseball fans giving Cal a lot of shit for that. I've just been noticing.
it's full of nonsense. It's so stupid. It's because to me the way how I see the World Baseball Classic with Cal Raleigh is he was going with a chip on his shoulders. He was there to play. He was ready and he was focused, right? And again, when you're kind of teammates with Randy Rosarena, he knows how to get inside your head. He really does. This guy literally stepped out of the plate every single time as the Rangers pitchers threw to him. It was an 0-3 count. He steps back in and hits a fucking nuke, man. Like, he knows how to get in your head. I think a little bit is like Cal was kind of accounting that, taking that into account. It's like, oh, gotta be careful. You want to be cautious,
Yes, mind
and
games.
I mean, I think Cal Raleigh was really focused on winning for Team USA, and just Randy Rosarena's reaction, just being like, "Yo, Cal Raleigh can go to hell for all I care," and I'm just like, "Dude, grow up." Cal Raleigh is here to play in a competition, and he again, where this spot is always going to be up for contention. It's same with Will Smith too, right? And you want to win and you want to be focused, right? And the funny thing is, Josh Naylor did it in a joking manner, in a very clear and obvious joking manner. It was sort of And even Josh Naylor's comments after the game was like, "Yeah, I texted Cal before the game that I was gonna do it," and he's like, "Please don't." And then when I walked up my plate appearance, he's like, "Hey buddy, how you doing?" He's like, he responded like, "Yeah, I was just messing with him." But like the response that
Yeah.
Randy Rosarena has, I'm like, dude, grow up. And if he doesn't grow up, you can fuck off. And we've got Lorenzero Montez, and if Victor Robles can rebound from last year, we don't need you. Go shoo, right? Like it's so dumb. It's the most pointless, nonsensical thing. I hope they figured it out because if Randy's going to be this petty all season long, then it's like, get the fuck off of my baseball team, bro. We don't need this. We have World Series ambitions, and we still have yet to make a World Series appearance in our franchise history. And if this drama between the two is going to prevent that, like, not only do you hurt your locker room culture, right, but like, you're gonna hurt your free agency signings. Like, Josh Naylor re-signed to Seattle at a great, like less than $20 million for the next 5 years, man. Like, he wants to be here, and we need to have this. We need to still have this good culture in the locker room, and I need to see this. I need to see something from Randy, and it needs to be, I was wrong. I was frustrated, upset. I wanted to, I saw my good buddy here. I thought I would have gotten something here, but if he's not in, he can get out. We want players to win the World Series. We don't need petty drama between players for like the smallest thing out there. So that's kind of how I see it. Pointless, stupid drama. But the ESPN needs something to push headlines when it's just not. Annoying media, annoying media, annoying media. Now that that's nonsense is out of the way, the spring training was really, really exciting because you have Colt Emerson, who probably leads all baseball players in plate appearances. Where I was kind of looking at a good. I was because like Julio had such a ridiculous 2022 spring training, and it was shortened. And like the spring training he had was electric. Like you knew by like the last week, you're like, yeah, this guy needs to be on the big leagues team to start this year. There was no time service manipulation or anything whatsoever. And because of that, well, you got rewarded with 3 first-round picks. One of them is a top prospect in Johnny Familio. You also got Cole Young, I'm hoping he can make a really nice big step in year 2. He's got 6 home runs, and he's hit the shit out of the baseball twice tonight, which is really good to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Cole Young can do as a player. Really excited to see what he can do in year 2. I'm looking for big things because if he can take a massive step this year, that is going to be wonderful for just the long-term future of the Seattle Mariners team. They're going to need a big year because especially if your infield for the next 5 years is going to be Josh Naylor, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, and Brendan Donovan. Like, you don't have to worry about the infield forever. You don't have to worry about that forever, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that at all. And then it's just your biggest concern is, well, now we just circle back to the outfield where it's Julio and maybe Lorenzaro and Johnny Familio, maybe Dominic Canzone in there somewhere. Like the pitching's fine. Bullpen should be
Mhm.
still very good. But like the long-term future of the Mariners is like I'm being less worried about it because normally I'm like circling like the prospect names that I've circled all these years. Like I've gone into detail about
Yeah.
Cole Young and Harry
Mhm.
Ford, Philly and Celstein, Lorenzaro Montoyas, and Michael Arroyo being like kind of like really focused on like the hitting side of the prospect side of things and seeing how we might have our long-term infield kind of figured out, which is just going to be really good because then you have a bunch of prospects that you can allocate towards getting a legendary outfielder to help this team win championships. Like, it was disappointing when they did make the playoffs in 2023, 2024. It was really disappointing, but it was more understandable where they needed to take a couple steps back to take several steps forward. And, ironically, one of those pieces to actually, when we traded Paul Sewell away, who was one of our big closers, a lot of Mariners fans were very upset. But, like, Dominic Canzone might be really fucking good, which is crazy to say. He might be really good. I'm not so sure how good it is there yet, but like, cause when last year, right, I think from like in the summer months, he was hitting 311. That's phenomenal.
Mhm.
He was hitting 311
Very
last
good.
year, which is just fantastic to see. Like, this is somebody where he unfortunately might have just taken Victor Robles' spot, but like, you can now platoon Victor Robles' spot, and that's a nice platoon to have with him and Victor Robles. You also have Brendan Donovan, who could potentially be playing in the outfield. Like, the competition for outfielders is going to be very competitive, especially if JP Crawford is having a good season, Cole Young's having a great season, and Colt Emerson is ready. You're not gonna be. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough moves that the Mariners are probably gonna have to make. Like, the fact that Miles Mastrobuoni might be starting in Tacoma. Well, he's gonna be starting in Tacoma on a rehab assignment, anyways. But he might be optioned to Tacoma because their depth is that good. Like, that's crazy where this Mariners team is at. Like, their
Also,
depth
Cubs
is.
legend, by the way.
Their depth pieces. The fact that their depth might be Rob Ristefiner, it might be Mitch Garver, which is insane. Like, you got Cole Kisner, they have a lot of like catchers that are going to be in Tacoma. Their depth is just ridiculously unreal, and you potentially are going to be seeing Michael Awario and Lorenzaro Montez in Tacoma starting or at some point this year is absolutely insane. Like, the Mariners, like this is the time where the Mariners have that like mixed thing where you're spending on what you think is an absolute need, which was first base. They needed a first baseman. They got that with Josh Naylor, and it is a sweetheart deal. 5 years, under $100 million. I think it's like 92.5 or something crazy like that. The fact that he signed with that money for that long because he believed in the culture, and the Tucker, the dog, which is just their interactions are just the most wholesome things on the planet. But this is where you're really hoping this hitting core really takes off. It was because it's been bottom 10 for years, and last year was the first time where the definition of mid, which is average, they were an average hitting team, and now it's going to be a lot better because you're going to have a full year of Josh Naylor, and you're going to have prospects that are ready in the wings, which is going to be completely awesome to see. That's what I'm really excited to see. I mean, the hitting's going to be great. Pitching staff is going to be a little bit interesting. The big thing being is that Bryce Miller likely isn't ready for the start of the season. He's probably going to be spending some time on the IL and will need a rehab stint in Tacoma.
What happened to Bryce Miller?
It's something in his throwing shoulder. He had to get a kerosene shot at some
Ugh.
point. The spring training had to be shut down from a bullpen session, and he has it. He's thrown, like, he's in the early stages of throwing, but like, he's not like in full throwing formation. So the starting rotation might be something more like Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, George Kirby, Luis Castillo, and Emerson Hancock. I think that's going to be the opening rotation, which, I'm kind of hoping Emerson Hancock can really hold down on his own. But if he doesn't, I'm wondering if they're going to pull the trigger and call up Ryan Sloan. Ryan Sloan has had a very good spring training. He's going to start, think I think he might be starting in Everett this year, but but I'm also thinking he could start in Arkansas because Bryce Miller just isn't ready. And Bryce Miller actually re-signed on a little bit of a bridge deal, and he can opt out into free agency at the end of the season this year. If there's a bunch of things that are tied with it, with his contract. So he could be in free agency this upcoming free agency season, but he hasn't essentially been healthy for the full been quite healthy. He's really good, and his comparison has been Felix Hernandez. He has a huge fireball arsenal, but like it's his fireball's pretty unhittable if you're not able to like jump on it right away. It's very unhittable. But like his other stuff is really lacking. That's kind of my criticism for Bryce Miller. And when you have a Ryan Sloan and a Cade Anderson that's like potentially might be on the 40 man this year, yeah.
What's the word on George Kirby?
George Kirby's fine. George
Oh,
Kirby's
I
ready.
thought he had a little bit of an injury going off into the later part of the off season.
No, he's fine. He'll be ready. Like the rotation
good.
should be healthy. The big one is Bryce Miller. I do not know if he can potentially suit up for the Mariners this year. I do not know because if they might be looking for a jolt, Ryan Sloan is somebody that can throw. It can throw just a little bit under from what Paul Skeens can throw. Like Ryan Sloan is disgusting, disgustingly good, and especially with this pitching staff, like he's going to be really good. And that's not the other pitcher that they actually potentially could also use this year too, or even hell potentially next year, which is Cade Anderson. I don't think they'll rush Cade Anderson. I think Cade Anderson is somebody that you keep in the minors for 2 years, but he's someone with a ridiculously high ceiling, and it's a focus on he's very like what he has is extremely basic, but it's getting that basic pitches to be extremely elite is something that you really want to keep your eye on with Cade Anderson. But everything else should be good. I expect a big year from Brian Wu. I expect a little bit of a rebound from Logan Gilbert. Same thing with George Kirby. Both had a little bit of off years. Last year, I'm looking for them to rebound. Same with Luis Castillo. If he's somebody that can completely have a massive rebound, it's him. He's he's a reliable enough, but like with the money that they're paying him on a per year basis and for where they are under the team, you're going to need a lot more from him. He's been reliable, sure, but he's somebody that I'm going to need more from because I see if they doesn't tend to pan out, you're going to slot him out and you're going to put Ryan Sloan in, to start next year. But it's going to be something that you just really want to just keep an eye on. Keep an eye on these two. Really good stuff. The other one was Gino Martinez, but he's in the Pittsburgh Pirates system, and I don't trust the Pittsburgh Pirates to develop anything for shit. So, no, there was that. I was really excited about him, but no, he got traded. And same with Gianluca Cianciarge. So, my big hope is that the Mariners can invest in at least two of Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and Brian Wu. I do hope we can get invested in them. If we can't, then oh, ugh, it is. It's gonna be the big I don't know kind of thing. The bullpen, I would have liked them to add another arm, but their bullpen's going to be really interesting to see because I think it's one of the things that I really liked about the first playoff series run was how good their bullpen was. It was extremely good, extremely hot into the months of July, August, and September. Really helped them platoon into a playoff spot. So I'm going to be really looking at the bullpen to step up. The bullpen looks to be pretty healthy with their main guys. Um, you're gonna look at like some of the underrated guys like Bizardo. I'm looking at Carlos Vargas. I'm looking at them to take kind of another step in to it. Same thing with Gabe Spire. They've got guys that can do well, but I'm looking for them to take an even bigger step forward going into next season. Because unfortunately, the prospect pool is kind of dried up for bullpen prospects. And I think one of the things that they might try to do again is shift Emerson Hancock to the bullpen when Bryce Miller is healthy. I think that's what they're
Interesting.
going to do with. I think that's what they're going to do with him. They did with him last year, and he had a couple appearances out of the bullpen, and that was pretty successful. And not to mention, you got a guy that is, you get a starting pitcher's getting shelled. He's somebody that you can get 4 innings out of. So, that's kind of there too for their pitching wise. The sad thing is I don't know if we were overvaluing if we were really overvaluating Harry Ford because I thought the return should have been a lot bigger. But it's really sad not to have Harry Ford on the team as the backup C because I think he would have made the team and it would have been a really interesting play that probably could have probably squeezed 100 games and rotated the DH because he's got a really good bat. But the thing that's been against him is his defensive prowess that needs a little bit of work on. So that's going to be really interesting to see if the Nats can develop that. But I think his bat is ready. It's just his defense might not be completely there yet. But sucks he's on the team. I'm really wondering if Mitch Garver is going to make the final spot or if he's going to be in Tacoma, ready to go. Or if he's going to trigger his opt out and sign with somebody else because I think he could be a backup for somebody else. But look at maybe potentially Mitch Garver making on this team as a backup C, making the vet minimum, that's completely fine if he's going to be hitting below average. He's just the backup, not making $10 million like he was previously. So that's going to be really interesting. Or if it's going to be Kisner, if he's going to be the backup C, that still is a position that is up for grabs. I don't know who it is yet, but I believe their depth might be Leo Rivas. Luke Rayleigh's had an amazing spring training. And then you're going to have a platoon of Dominic Canzone and Victor Robles. So those are your potentially 4 backup hitting spots, which leaves Miles Mastroboni. I'm going to look at see who else is like huge.
Hey, you said Mitch Gardner, right?
Mitch Garver.
Yeah, I was gonna say that reminds me of another Mitch Marner. How's the hate watch going?
Well, they might miss the playoffs, which is chef's kiss.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's really funny, look, how you have so many Mitch. There's so many guys named Mitch that are on your teams.
Yeah, I also have been on a teach. I was really hoping you were going to say Mitch Haniger, so that's going to be another.
Oh yeah, Mitch Haniger, yeah.
Yeah, like the big also too. Ryan Bliss might be starting in Tacoma too. Like Ryan Bliss might make the team, but he might also just need to be in Tacoma for a time. Ryland Thomas is going to be in Tacoma. Like it's a tough group to try and crack into the hitting court. The fact that Miles Mastrobuoni, Bliss, and maybe Luke Rayleigh might be in Tacoma. Yeah, that shows how deep it is. It's gonna be very interesting for this group. I'm more so their depth is obviously a lot better than what it was Now let's get into the spicy part. The prospects that Luke never shuts the fuck up about.
1 second. I will say, Nick, on the Mitch talk, all I'm hearing is that Mitch Trubisky is going to be a Seahawk by the time his career is over.
True.
That's fair. That's fair. Alright, here we go. The big one, Colt Emerson. I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the spring training performance, but that's not the end of the world. I think this is somebody who is going to spend at least 3 to 4 months in Tacoma. If there's a big hole in the infield, they're going to call him up and they're going to give him a chance. I see this dude absolutely raking. He's going to rake in Tacoma. He needs to work on his defensively a little bit. Drink water. He's gonna need to. His defensive utility needs to work on a little bit. I think also too, from last year, he made the fast jump from high A to double A to then triple A for the playoff push. So I think he just needs like half a season more. He's almost there. Just needs a half season more. In the minors. Really excited to see where his future is. He might be a superstar. He needs a little bit more. It's like when you're baking a cake and you poke the toothpick and you see that you're still getting some debris on the toothpick. A little bit more time. He's not there. He's gonna be really good. Needs a little bit more time. Kate Anderson, I'm super excited for. I don't know how the fuck the Nets and the Angels passed on this guy. Thanks for the all-time great pitcher in this wonderful pitching development farm system. Thanks for it, suckers, you fucking idiots. I'm excited with Kate Anderson. I'm really interested. I'm 80% sure he's starting in Everett. The other 20% would be in Double A in North for the Arkansas Travelers. Really good stuff. It's more of just making his good stuff into elite stuff. So that's something to keep an eye on that. Ryan Sloan, insanely fast. He's got an insane fastball that tops at 90, 98, 99. All the good modern stuff that a lot of modern pitching really likes. Should be starting in Arkansas, although I wouldn't be surprised if he starts out in Everett too. Really good stuff. Lorenzo Montez should be starting in Double A, might be Triple A, not 100% sure. He is somebody that he is like the next big bomb bat for Major League Baseball. Watch him hitting nukes in the future at your local T-Mobile Park. The big thing though is I'm really curious about his transition from Double A to Triple A. If they were to do that, I'm gonna really look at the early numbers because there's something I've always known. He did struggle early on from low A to high A. He really struggled in Everett, but then he figured it out. So I'm really interested in seeing what the transitional game is gonna look like. That's something that's gonna need a little work on. Michael Arroyo, really excited, but he might be a trade bait. Or if, say, Cole Young doesn't work out, but Michael Arroyo does, woohoo! That's just another option, but I expect him to be traded to acquire pieces for a playoff push. But he's gonna be a really good baseball player. I think he's gonna be really good. Did very well for Team Columbia this year. He was their leadoff player. Really fun spring training to see him play for the Mariners. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think he's gonna make his debut in Seattle. Johnny Formilio, just please stay healthy. I need a full season of him being healthy. He just hasn't been healthy. Somebody I think has a really nice bat, really nice power in the outfield. That's somebody I need to have at least hit because the outfield is, I'm not 100% sold in those super long term. Philly Celestine, love this kid. Needs to stay healthy. He's been pretty injured in back-to-back years to where, he's had stupidly good moments in Modesto, but then he got hurt and that killed all of his motivation. And when he's come back, he's been relatively quiet. That's a really good, super good defender outfielder. But again, he's really on the lower end of the elite side for the prospect wise for the Mariners. Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. That goes the end of the elite. Time for the middling prospects. We'll get these really quickly. Luke Stevenson, drafted out of last year. Gonna have had a really interesting bat in Modesto last year. Someone to watch for. The Harry Ford backup C future catcher replacement. Nick Becker joins the list this year. Draft class from last year. Somebody to watch out in Modesto. Jaeger Bautista, I think he makes his debut in Rookie League Ball this year. He's making his Rookie League Ball from the DCL. He had a pretty good DCL season last year. Something to watch out for. Going all the way down to 14, Juan Riju. He will be making his Dominican Summer League debut this year. He's currently the 14th best prospect. So really interesting. Sky is the limit this year for him. Going to be interesting to watch. Going to be a very interesting watch. And then there's, I believe there's one more that they signed. I think there's Kendry Martinez should be making his DCL debut as well. Somebody also to watch out for. He's number 28 currently, but that's something to really just keep an eye on for. It should be in the Dominican Summer League this year as well. Just something just to keep an eye on for the Mariners. They got a lot of really good prospects, but a lot of they got two middling guys, and the rest are kind of unknown at this point for the Mariners. So yeah, just kind of bit of that. That's kind of been their farm system. They've managed the fact that they've bought at 2 deadlines, and they've kept this elite group of elite young players intact is actually astonishing. From an organizational standpoint, this is where it's good to have really good fallback plans, and I'm really interested to see where mostly they're not in Modesto, they're the Inland Empire 66ers, 67ers, haha, 67.
6'7", 6'7", 6'7".
I believe
I'm
this
such a fat
year,
fucking chud.
I believe this year is where they are at this year, I believe. I think it's an Inland Empire. I think it's the 66ers or the... Haha, 6'7". Oh, 66ers, sorry. The Inland Empire 66ers. They moved from Modesto. Somebody else. Is somebody else the Modesto Nuts? I'm going to be... Quick look-see. I think it's because they couldn't fund a stadium, I believe. San Jose, Angels, the Quakes, super trying to be quick looking. It does not look like that's the case. See, there's no more Modesto Nuts. Damn, that sucks. All right, so yeah, that's the Mariners this year. Yeah, I'm going to be really looking a lot at all of it, really. All of it's a really good looking at, but I'm going to be also paying special close attention to the DSL because good prospects are always really good to keep an eye on, but keeping an eye on the Dominican Summer League, on the young prospect that has been signed from Latin America, are also something that you must really keep an eye on because there's some crazy good players that can come out of there. Crazy good players that can come out of there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens this year. The long journey of baseball season is about to be underway, and also the UFL kicks off next week. They begin their 3rd season, so that's something to really watch for. I'm really excited. And if you're interested in joining in the Pick'ems League, winner gets 50 big ones. I still owe Nick $100. He'll get that paid when I get my tax return. My tax return is still a good amount of money coming in, so that I will be able to.
Nick, I have to ask, what kind of cocaine and what kind of hookers will you be getting with that money?
I don't know if it's funded. Considering, you know what, if it's funded by a certain owner of a football team in Vegas, sure, I will know what I'm buying.
That is fair. Well, does anybody have anything else to ask or comment, or are we good to end it off here?
Um, let me take a look at basketball real quick. Just so since I think most of those games are wrapping up.
Yeah, it looks like
Um,
UConn's gonna hold on.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
only game going on. Is UConn
unfortunate.
and over.
No, I don't really have anything else. Well, in that case, thank you guys so much for watching the
Iowa
Untitled
beat
Sickos
Clemson.
Project.
Nice. Iowa beat
Yeah,
Clemson. Nice. You made it to the round of
yeah,
32.
Oh yeah.
for once.
Yeah,
But
good luck
yeah,
against Florida though.
All right.
no, you didn't have to bring that up, you didn't
And I'm
have to.
just warning you. I'm just giving you some warning. I'm just giving you a
I mean, to
warning.
be fair, I
Dude,
do think that's quite the friendly warning.
we have a white, our best player is some fuck ass 5'10" white guy. We are, but, thank you guys so much for watching the Untitled Sickos Project. Don't know what's gonna be the thing for next week. However, we do have some news to announce. We'll be holding our quote unquote mock drafts this year on the 17th of April, and we will be holding our annual NFL draft watch along on the 24th, 25th, and the funniest person gets drafted on the 26th. What if that person doesn't get drafted, you may say?
Then you're stuck watching me play Skyrim, bitch. Deal
Till
with it,
the end of
fucker.
time. To the end. Yeah, we have to go until he gets signed. The stream stays up until he gets
Yeah,
signed by someone.
we're dragging my friend Thomas into this. We're dragging Thomas into day 3. We're telling him the second he gets drafted to literally unplug your internet, bozo.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys are ready for that. In the meantime, have yourselves a good one. Stay hydrated, keep yourself safe, and
Skyrim
6-7.
tomorrow. So
I'm such a fat
we'll see you
fucking
tomorrow for
chub.
hopefully 4 hours of Skyrim tomorrow, and yeah, that's what's going to be crapping in tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you next time. And yeah, pick'ems, they start next week. The 10-month journey. Oh, it feels good to have football season back again. It's gonna be nice, baseball and football season. Also, keep an eye on the Continental Football League. I can't wait to see that fucking dumpster fire. I was wrong. They start in about 2 months, but it feels like they still don't have their shit together. We're gonna keep an eye on that dumpster fire, and it's a dumpster fire worth keeping an eye on. Anyways, take care, y'all, and see you and have.